Hello to all fans of Naruto Lemon. I will post all Naruto Lemon Yaoi, Yuri, or Naruto Lemon stories only on the Boosty channel because Uncle YouTube condemns this. Therefore, I invite everyone who wants Naruto Lemon content to my Boosty channel. Good luck.
お前はどこまで見えている俺死に様か
Chapter 1, The Divine Awakening. The sun rose over the Hidden Leaf Village, casting a warm, golden glow across the bustling streets. It was a new day, and despite the calm, an air of anticipation hung heavy. Today was significant for one resident in particular, Naruto Uzumaki. Little did she know, her life was about to take a turn that would redefine her destiny. Naruto, with her bright blonde hair tied into her signature spiky ponytail, was training fiercely in the training grounds outside the village. She was known for her tenacity and her never-give-up attitude. This morning, however, there was an additional layer of energy in her practice. She had been feeling unusual surges of power lately, an almost divine presence that she couldn't quite explain. Naruto, okay, let's see if I can push it a little more today. Her voice rang with determination as she prepared to execute one of her most challenging jutsu. She took a deep breath, focusing her chakra. The air crackled with energy, and the ground beneath her feet began to tremble. With a swift motion, she unleashed a massive wave of energy, a technique she had perfected over time. But today, something different happened. The wave of energy expanded beyond her control, morphing into a swirling vortex of divine light. It erupted with such intensity that it created a blinding explosion, sending shockwaves across the training field. Naruto, whoa, that's new. She shielded her eyes from the brilliance, her heart racing with both excitement and confusion. As the light subsided, she stood amidst a crater, her hair slightly singed and her clothes dusted with dirt. The aftermath was stunning, the landscape around her had transformed, with flowers blooming in patterns and the air tinged with a sweet fragrance. Naruto was still catching her breath when she noticed a figure approaching through the dissipating smoke. It was Sasuke Uchiha, who had been out on a morning patrol. His usually stoic expression was replaced with one of surprise and concern. Sasuke, Naruto, what just happened? He scanned the area, taking in the unusual scene. His sharp eyes then settled on Naruto, who was trying to dust herself off with an embarrassed grin. Naruto, I'm not entirely sure. I've been feeling strange lately, like there's this incredible power inside me just waiting to burst out. Sasuke raised an eyebrow, his curiosity piqued. He approached Naruto, his gaze fixed on her. Sasuke, it looks like whatever you're feeling is much more powerful than we anticipated. This could be a problem. Naruto, slightly defensive but mostly excited, replied, or it could be a good thing. Maybe I'm just discovering a new level of power. You should have seen that technique, it felt amazing. Sasuke's concern was evident, but he tried to mask it with a hint of his usual seriousness. Sasuke, we need to be careful. If this power isn't controlled properly, it could cause more damage than we're prepared for. Let's go talk to Kakashi about this. Naruto nodded, her enthusiasm tempered by Sasuke's caution. They made their way to Kakashi Hataki's office, the Hokage's tower, where they found him engrossed in a stack of paperwork. Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke. What brings you here? Kakashi looked up, noticing their disheveled appearances and the unusual aura surrounding Naruto. Naruto, Kakashi-sensei, you need to see this. I was training, and something incredible happened. I think I might have discovered a new power. Kakashi's interest was immediately piqued. He gestured for them to explain further. As Naruto described the events, Kakashi's face shifted from curiosity to concern. Kakashi, this is indeed unusual. Your power seems to be manifesting in ways we haven't seen before. It might be tied to some ancient or divine source. We need to investigate this further. Kakashi pondered for a moment, then continued. Kakashi, for now, I'll have a few trusted ninjas help us with research. I'd also like you to keep practicing, but under controlled conditions. We need to understand this power before it becomes a risk. Naruko nodded, though a hint of disappointment lingered. She was eager to explore her newfound abilities. But she understood the importance of caution. Naruko, understood, Kakashi-sensei. I'll be careful. Thank you. As they left the Hokage's tower, Sasuke and Naruto walked side by side, their earlier conversation replaced by a thoughtful silence. Sasuke, we'll figure this out, Naruto. You're not alone in this. Naruto, thanks, Sasuke. I know. I feel like there's so much more to discover. And I want to make sure I'm ready for whatever comes next. Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden rustling in the bushes nearby. Both of them tensed, ready for any potential threat. Out stepped a familiar figure, Sakura Haruno, who had been looking for them. Sakura, hey, I heard about what happened during training. Are you guys okay? Naruto, yeah, we're fine. Just had a little explosion. Naruto's tone was light, trying to make light of the situation. Sakura, well, I'm glad you're okay. I just wanted to make sure you're not in trouble. I'll help out however I can. Her support was reassuring. With Sakura joining them, the group set off to return to the training grounds. As they walked, Naruto couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension about the journey ahead. The discovery of her divine powers was just the beginning, and the path before her was filled with both opportunities and challenges. Naruto, alright, let's get back to training. I'm ready for whatever comes next. The sky was clearing as the trio made their way, the village's silhouette a comforting backdrop. Little did they know, this was only the start of a new chapter in their lives, one that would test their strength, their relationships, and their very understanding of their world. As the sun set, casting a beautiful orange hue over Konoha, Naruto looked up with determination. Her journey had just begun, and she was ready to face it head-on, with her friends by her side and a new destiny unfolding before her. Chapter 1, The Divine Awakening, continued. As night descended upon Konoha, the village was illuminated by the soft glow of lanterns and the twinkling stars above. The group, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and a few other friends, gathered at the training grounds for a debriefing and planning session. The vibrant hues of the sunset slowly faded, and a serene calm took over, creating a perfect backdrop for their discussions. Sakura, so, what exactly happened during your training, Naruto? Her curiosity was evident as she took a seat on a nearby rock, her eyes scanning Naruto's slightly tense form. Naruto, it was like I could feel this immense power welling up inside me. When I tried to channel it, the energy just exploded. I've never felt anything like it before. She paused, her expression a mix of excitement and uncertainty. Kakashi-sensei thinks it might be tied to something ancient or divine. Sakura, that's incredible. But it also sounds a bit dangerous. What if you can't control it properly? Naruto, I know. That's why Kakashi-sensei wants to investigate it further. I just hope we can figure it out before it causes any more trouble. Sasuke, who had been listening intently, finally spoke up. Sasuke, we should start by researching any historical records or ancient texts that might mention this type of power. There might be some clues about its origins and how to manage it. Sakura, that's a good idea. I'll help with the research. We should also be prepared for any unexpected consequences. Naruto nodded appreciatively, grateful for the support of her friends. The bond they shared was a source of strength for her, and knowing that they were all willing to help made this situation seem less daunting. As they discussed their next steps, a soft rustling in the bushes drew their attention. Out stepped a familiar figure, Jiraiya, the legendary Sannin and Naruto's former mentor. His white hair and distinctive outfit made him instantly recognizable. Jiraiya, well, if it isn't my favorite former student and her friends. I heard about the commotion earlier. Mind if I join in? Naruto's face lit up with a mixture of surprise and joy. Naruto, Jiraiya-sensei. It's great to see you. I'm glad you're here. We could use your expertise. Jiraiya's eyes twinkled with amusement as he approached. Jiraiya, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Now, let's see what kind of divine power my student has awakened. With Jiraiya's arrival, the group's strategy expanded. He offered valuable insights into ancient lore and legends that might be relevant to Naruto's newfound abilities. They spent hours poring over old texts and discussing potential sources of power. Jiraiya, from what I'm seeing, there are a few legends about beings who possessed divine power similar to what you've described. They were known for their incredible strength and their ability to manipulate energy in ways that defied normal understanding. Sasuke, do these legends offer any clues about how to control this power? Jiraiya, some. There are rituals and meditative practices that were used by these beings to maintain balance and control. It might be worth trying some of these techniques to see if they help you manage your new abilities. Naruto was eager to start working on these practices, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. She was determined to harness her power responsibly and ensure that it was used for the greater good. Naruto, thank you, Jiraiya-sensei. I'll start practicing these techniques right away. I want to be ready for anything that comes our way. As the night deepened, the group disbanded, each heading to their respective homes with a sense of anticipation and resolve. Naruto and Sasuke walked side by side towards the village's residential area, their footsteps echoing softly in the quiet streets. Sasuke, Naruto, you've been handling all of this remarkably well. I know it's a lot to take in, but you're stronger than you realize. Naruto, thanks, Sasuke. I couldn't do it without your support. I'm just afraid of what might happen if I don't get a handle on this power soon. Sasuke's expression softened as he looked at her. Sasuke, we'll face it together. You're not alone in this. We'll figure it out and make sure you're prepared for whatever comes next. Naruto smiled, feeling a surge of gratitude and warmth. The strength of their bond gave her confidence that they could overcome any challenge. Naruto, I know we can. And having friends like you and Sakura makes me believe we can handle anything. As they reached Naruto's home, she turned to Sasuke, her eyes reflecting the determination and hope she felt inside. Naruto, I'll start working on those techniques tomorrow. For now, I need some rest. Sasuke, rest well. We have a lot of work ahead of us. With a final smile, Naruto entered her home, ready to face the new challenges that awaited her. The night was still young, but the village of Konoha was at peace, thanks to the vigilance of its heroes. In the quiet of her room, Naruto sat by her window, gazing up at the starry sky. The path before her was uncertain, but she felt a renewed sense of purpose and resolve. With her friends by her side and a divine power awakening within her, Naruto was ready to embrace the journey that lay ahead. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter, as if in acknowledgement of the new chapter that was unfolding. Little did Naruto know, her journey was just beginning, and the adventures, challenges, and triumphs that awaited her would shape her destiny in ways she could scarcely imagine. Chapter 2, The Path to Mastery. The sun peeked over the horizon, casting a golden hue across Konoha as a new day began. Naruto Uzumaki, having barely slept the night before, was up before dawn. Her mind was racing with thoughts of her newfound divine powers and the responsibility that came with them. Determined to make the most of her time, she quickly prepared for the day ahead. In the early morning light, Naruto made her way to the training grounds, where she found Sakura already waiting, her pink hair catching the sunlight. Sakura had taken the initiative to start the research on divine powers, and she had brought along several ancient texts and scrolls that might hold the key to understanding Naruto's abilities. Sakura, good morning, Naruto. I've gathered some more information. I think we might be able to find something useful in these texts. Naruto, great. I'm ready to get started. The sooner we figure this out, the better. Naruto's determination was evident as she rolled up her sleeves, ready to dive into the research. The two friends settled into a corner of the training grounds, surrounded by scrolls and ancient manuscripts. The texts were filled with references to divine beings and their powers, written in a script that was both archaic and complex. As they pored over the texts, Jiraiya arrived, carrying a few additional scrolls and a large, ancient-looking book. Jiraiya, morning, ladies. I brought some additional material that might help us in our quest. I also have some practical techniques to discuss. Naruto, perfect timing, Jiraiya-sensei. We were just starting to go through the texts. What do you have for us? Jiraiya spread out the scrolls and opened the ancient book, revealing detailed illustrations and descriptions of rituals and practices associated with divine powers. Jiraiya, these texts mention various methods to harness and control divine energy. Some techniques involve meditation and mental focus, while others require specific rituals to align oneself with the divine essence. Sakura, that's fascinating. Do you think these techniques will help Naruto gain better control over her powers? Jiraiya, definitely. Mastery of these techniques will be crucial. We'll need to start with the basics, meditation, to center her energy and focus her mind. From there, we can move on to more advanced practices. Naruto was eager to start, her excitement barely contained. Naruto, let's get to it then. What do I need to do first? Jiraiya guided her through a series of meditation exercises designed to help her connect with her inner divine essence. Naruto found it challenging at first. Her mind was often distracted by the thoughts of her responsibilities and the weight of her newfound powers. However, with Jiraiya's guidance and Sakura's support, she gradually began to find a sense of balance. Jiraiya, focus on your breathing and visualize the energy flowing through you. Imagine it as a river, calm and controlled. Let it guide you to a place of inner peace. As Naruto concentrated, she felt a soothing warmth enveloping her. Her divine power seemed to respond to her efforts, becoming less erratic and more manageable. Sakura, you're doing great, Naruto. I can see the energy stabilizing. Keep going. The hours passed quickly as Naruto continued her meditation, and by midday, she had made significant progress. She was able to control her divine energy with much greater precision, a promising sign of her growing mastery. Jiraiya, you've made excellent progress today. Now that you've established a foundation, we can move on to more advanced techniques. But remember, this is just the beginning. The real challenge will be integrating these practices into your daily life and using them effectively in different situations. Naruto nodded, her face glowing with determination. Naruto, I understand. I'll keep practicing and refining my skills. Thank you for all your help. Jiraiya, no problem. We're all in this together. But remember, there's more to this journey than just mastering your powers. You'll need to learn to balance your responsibilities and the expectations placed on you. As the group packed up their materials, Sasuke arrived at the training grounds, his expression a mix of curiosity and concern. Sasuke, how's it going? Any progress? Naruto, yes, actually. I've made some good progress with the meditation and controlling my energy. Jiraiya-sensei and Sakura have been a huge help. Sasuke's eyes softened slightly, showing his approval. Sasuke, that's good to hear. I've been working on gathering information from the clan archives. There might be some historical records that could provide additional insights into your powers. Naruto, thanks, Sasuke. That would be really helpful. We need all the information we can get. The group spent the rest of the day working together, combining their efforts to piece together the puzzle of Naruto's divine powers. The camaraderie and shared purpose strengthened their bonds, and they knew they were on the right path. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the village, Naruto took a moment to reflect on the day's events. She was exhausted but satisfied with the progress she had made. Naruto, it's been a long day, but I feel more confident about handling my powers now. Thank you all for your support. Sakura, we're happy to help. Just remember, you don't have to do this alone. Sasuke, we're in this together. We'll face whatever challenges come our way. As Naruto headed home, she felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The path to mastering her divine powers was still long and challenging, but with her friends by her side, she felt ready to face whatever came next. That night, as Naruto lay in bed, she looked out the window at the starry sky. The vastness of the universe seemed to reflect the enormity of the journey ahead. But she was not alone. With her friend's support and her own resolve, she was prepared to embrace her destiny and unlock the full potential of her divine powers. Chapter 3: Trials of the Divine. The following week passed in a blur of intense training and research. Naruto's mornings were spent mastering meditation techniques and refining her control over her divine powers. The afternoons were dedicated to studying ancient texts with Sakura and seeking guidance from Jiraiya. Sasuke's evenings were filled with visits to the clan archives, digging up any relevant information he could find. One particular afternoon, as Naruto and Sakura were working on a new set of training exercises, Jiraiya arrived with an urgent expression on his face. "Jiraiya, Naruto, I've just received some troubling news. There's been a series of disturbances in the village outskirts. Reports suggest that dark, unfamiliar energy is being detected. It might be related to your divine powers." "Naruto, disturbances? What kind of disturbances?" Her brow furrowed with concern. "Jiraiya, it's hard to say for sure, but it seems like there's some kind of interference with the natural flow of energy. It could be a result of the divine energy you're tapping into. We need to investigate this immediately." Naruto's determination flared up. She knew that her actions might be having unforeseen consequences, and she was eager to make things right. "Naruto, let's go. We need to find out what's causing these disturbances and put a stop to it." Sakura, ever the supportive friend, stepped forward. "Sakura, I'll come with you. If there's anything I can do to help, I want to be there." Sasuke, who had been listening from the sidelines, nodded in agreement. "Sasuke, I'll join as well. If there's a threat, we need to be prepared for anything." The group set out towards the village outskirts, where the disturbances had been reported. As they approached the area, the atmosphere grew heavy with an oppressive energy. The once peaceful landscape now seemed tainted with a dark aura. "Jiraiya, stay alert. We don't know what we're dealing with yet." The team ventured deeper into the affected area, the air crackling with an unsettling energy. It wasn't long before they came upon the source of the disturbances, a dark figure standing amidst a swirling vortex of malevolent energy. The figure seemed to be drawing power from the very fabric of the environment, creating chaos around them. "Naruto, who's that? What are they doing?" "Jiraiya, that's the source of the dark energy. It looks like they're trying to harness it for some unknown purpose. We need to stop them before it causes any more damage." The dark figure turned to face them, revealing a masked face with glowing eyes. The intensity of the energy around them increased, causing the ground to tremble. Dark figure, so, the goddess has arrived. How amusing. You have no idea what you're dealing with. Naruto stepped forward, her resolve unwavering. Naruto, I won't let you continue this. Whatever you're doing, it ends now. The dark figure laughed, the sound echoing ominously. Dark figure, you think you can stop me? My power surpasses yours, even with your divine abilities. Let's see how well you handle true darkness. With that, the dark figure unleashed a torrent of energy that surged towards Naruto and her friends. Jiraiya, Naruto, use your divine power to shield us. We need to find a way to counteract their energy. Naruto summoned her divine energy, creating a protective barrier around the group. The dark energy collided with her shield, causing a brilliant clash of light and darkness. Despite the intensity of the attack, Naruto's barrier held strong. Sasuke, we need to find their weakness. I'll create an opening for you to attack. Sasuke dashed towards the dark figure, his Sharingan activated. With precise movements, he launched a series of attacks designed to disrupt the figure's concentration. Sakura, Naruto, focus on countering their energy. Use the techniques we've been practicing. Naruto concentrated, channeling her divine power to counteract the dark energy. Her energy began to stabilize, pushing back against the darkness. Naruto, I can feel their energy faltering. Keep up the pressure. As Sasuke continued to attack, the dark figure's defenses began to weaken. The swirling vortex of energy started to dissipate, revealing the figure's vulnerable state. Dark figure, no. This can't be happening. With a final burst of divine energy, Naruto launched a powerful attack that shattered the dark figure's defenses. The figure staggered, their dark aura dissipating into nothingness. Jiraiya, well done, Naruto. You've managed to contain the disturbance and defeat the threat. The group took a moment to catch their breath, the oppressive energy lifting from the area. The once tainted landscape slowly began to return to its peaceful state. Sakura, are you okay, Naruto? Naruto, I'm fine. Thanks to all of you. We managed to stop whatever that was. Sasuke approached Naruto, his eyes filled with admiration. Sasuke, you did well. Your control over your divine power is impressive. Naruto blushed slightly, feeling a rush of gratitude and warmth from Sasuke's praise. Naruto, I couldn't have done it without your help. Thank you. As they made their way back to the village, the group was filled with a sense of accomplishment and relief. The immediate threat had been neutralized, but Naruto knew that this was only the beginning. Her journey to master her divine powers and protect her village was far from over. That night, as Naruto lay in bed, she reflected on the day's events. The battle had tested her resolve and her control over her abilities, but it had also shown her the strength of her bonds with her friends. They were a team, and together, they could face any challenge that came their way. Naruto closed her eyes, her heart filled with a renewed sense of purpose. The path ahead might be fraught with difficulties, but with her friends by her side and her divine powers growing stronger, she felt ready to embrace whatever the future held. Chapter 4, Echoes of the Past. The days following the confrontation with the dark figure were busy but uneventful. The village returned to its normal rhythm, and Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura continued their training and research. The threat had been neutralized, but the incident left them with lingering questions about the nature of the disturbance and the dark figure's motives. One evening, while Naruto was relaxing in her home, a familiar figure appeared at her doorstep. It was Kakashi, carrying a large, dusty tome under one arm. Kakashi, evening, Naruto. Mind if I come in? Naruto, of course, Kakashi-sensei. What brings you here? She led him inside, curiosity piqued. Kakashi took a seat at her table and set the tome down with a thud. Kakashi, I've been doing some research of my own. After the recent disturbances, I thought it might be useful to dig into some old records. This book contains information about ancient deities and their interactions with the mortal realm. Naruto's eyes widened with interest. Naruto, that sounds important. What did you find? Kakashi, there's a section about past divine beings who were known to interact with mortals. Some of these accounts describe similar disturbances caused by their powers. It seems that the balance between divine and mortal realms is delicate and can be disrupted if not managed properly. Naruto's thoughts raced. Naruto, so, if the balance is disrupted, it could cause disturbances like the one we faced. How can we prevent this from happening again? Kakashi, the book suggests that maintaining harmony between the divine and mortal realms requires regular rituals and practices. It also mentions a ritual known as the Celestial Concord, which is said to help stabilize divine energy and prevent it from causing disturbances. Naruto, a ritual? That sounds like something we should definitely look into. Where can we find more information about it? Kakashi opened the tome and began to leaf through the pages. Kakashi, the details are sparse, but it appears that the ritual requires specific locations and artifacts. There's a mention of ancient sites scattered across the world where the ritual can be performed. We might need to travel to these locations to gather the necessary components. Naruto considered this information thoughtfully. Naruto, it sounds like a significant undertaking, but it's crucial if we want to ensure the stability of our world. I'll talk to Jiraiya and the others about this. We should start planning our next steps. Kakashi, I agree. It's important that we approach this carefully and gather as much information as possible. The more prepared we are, the better. As Kakashi left, Naruto began making preparations for the journey ahead. She knew that the task would be challenging, but she was determined to protect her world from further disturbances. The next day, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura gathered at the training grounds to discuss their plan. Naruto, Kakashi-sensei brought some important information. There's a ritual called the Celestial Concord that we need to perform to stabilize the divine energy. It requires traveling to ancient sites and gathering specific artifacts. Sasuke, ancient sites? That sounds like it could take a while. How do we know where to find these sites? Sakura, and how will we know if we have the right artifacts? Naruto, the book didn't provide all the details, but Kakashi-sensei suggested that we might find more information in other ancient texts or through local legends. We'll need to do some additional research and possibly consult with scholars or historians. Jiraiya, who had been listening, stepped forward. Jiraiya, I know of a few historians and scholars who might be able to help us. They specialize in ancient lore and might have knowledge of these sites. I'll reach out to them and see what we can find. Sasuke, sounds like a good plan. In the meantime, we should prepare ourselves for the journey. We don't know what we might encounter along the way. The team set to work, dividing tasks to prepare for their journey. Sakura and Naruto focused on gathering supplies and researching ancient legends, while Sasuke and Jiraiya reached out to historians and scholars for more information about the Celestial Concord and the ancient sites. A few days later, the team reconvened to share their findings. Sakura, I've come across a few legends that mention ancient sites related to divine energy. One of them is said to be located in a secluded forest outside the village. It's rumored to be a place of great spiritual significance. Sasuke, I found some references to artifacts associated with the Celestial Concord. They're described as powerful relics that can channel divine energy. We'll need to locate these relics to perform the ritual. Jiraiya, the historians I spoke with confirmed the existence of several ancient sites. They provided us with some maps and directions to get started. Our first destination will be the secluded forest mentioned by Sakura. Naruto, excellent. Let's prepare for our journey. We'll need to be ready for anything, and it's crucial that we find the artifacts and perform the ritual correctly. The team packed their gear and set off towards the secluded forest. The journey would be long and uncertain, but Naruto was confident that with her friends by her side, they could overcome any challenges that lay ahead. As they ventured into the forest, the air was filled with the sounds of rustling leaves and chirping birds. The serenity of the environment contrasted sharply with the gravity of their mission. Naruto felt a mix of excitement and anxiety, knowing that their journey was just beginning. The forest seemed to go on forever, with ancient trees and dense foliage creating a natural maze. The team moved cautiously, following the directions provided by the historians. After several hours of trekking, they arrived at a clearing. In the center stood an ancient stone structure, covered in intricate carvings and glowing faintly with a divine light. Naruto, this must be the site mentioned in the legends. It feels powerful. Sasuke, it looks like we've found our first destination. We should examine the structure and see if we can find any clues about the artifacts or the ritual. As the group approached the stone structure, they could feel the divine energy resonating from it. This was their first step in gathering the components needed for the Celestial Concord and ensuring the stability of their world. Chapter 5, The Sacred Relic. The ancient stone structure stood before them, its carvings and divine glow a testament to its significance. As Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Jiraiya approached, they could sense the powerful energy emanating from the site. The air was charged with a faint, mystical hum that seemed to resonate with Naruto's own divine presence. Naruto, this place is incredible. The energy here feels ancient and pure. We need to be cautious and respectful. Jiraiya, indeed. This site could hold crucial information or relics related to the Celestial Concord. We should proceed carefully. The team began to explore the structure, examining the intricate carvings that adorned the stone walls. The carvings depicted scenes of divine beings interacting with mortals, performing rituals, and maintaining the balance between the realms. Sakura, these carvings seem to tell a story. They might provide clues about what we need to do here. Sasuke, look at this carving. It shows a figure holding a staff and a crystal orb. Maybe these represent the artifacts we need for the ritual. Naruto approached the carving and studied it closely. Naruto, the staff and the crystal orb might be symbolic of the relics we're searching for. We should keep an eye out for anything that resembles these items. As they continued their investigation, they noticed a hidden chamber behind a set of stone doors. The doors were covered in runes and seemed to respond to Naruto's divine energy. Jiraiya, this chamber might hold the relics or additional information. Let's see if we can open it. Naruto placed her hand on the doors, channeling a small amount of her divine energy. The runes glowed brightly, and the doors creaked open, revealing a dimly lit chamber filled with ancient artifacts and relics. Sakura, look at all these items. There are so many. We need to find the ones that are relevant to the Celestial Concord. Naruto stepped into the chamber and carefully examined the relics. Among the various items, she noticed a staff and a crystal orb that closely resembled the ones depicted in the carvings. Naruto, these must be the artifacts we're looking for. The staff and the crystal orb are here. Sasuke examined the staff and orb, noting their craftsmanship and the energy they emitted. Sasuke, they look authentic. We should take them back to the village and verify their significance. They might be crucial for performing the Celestial Concord. Jiraiya, agreed. Let's secure these relics and make sure we don't miss any other important details in this chamber. As they gathered the artifacts, Naruto noticed an inscription on the wall that seemed to describe the ritual. Naruto, there's an inscription here. It might provide details on how to use these relics for the ritual. Sakura, let me take a look. Sakura approached the inscription and began translating it. Sakura, it says that the staff and the crystal orb must be used together during the ritual to channel and stabilize divine energy. The ritual involves invoking the harmony between the realms and aligning the energies with specific celestial events. Naruto, that sounds complex but manageable. We'll need to ensure we perform the ritual correctly to maintain the balance. Jiraiya, we should also check for any additional clues or warnings. This site is likely to have more information that could help us. The team continued their examination of the chamber, finding several scrolls and documents that provided further insights into the Celestial Concord ritual. They collected these items, knowing they would be valuable for their preparation. As they prepared to leave, Naruto felt a sense of accomplishment. They had successfully located the artifacts and gathered crucial information for the ritual. Naruto, this is a significant step forward. We found the relics we need, and we have more information to guide us. Let's head back to the village and start preparing for the ritual. The journey back to the village was filled with a sense of anticipation and determination. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Jiraiya were eager to put their findings to use and complete the ritual to stabilize the divine energy. Back in the village, they began their preparations for the ritual. They studied the scrolls and inscriptions, practiced the necessary techniques, and planned the timing of the ritual to align with the celestial events described in the texts. As the day of the ritual approached, Naruto reflected on their progress and the challenges they had faced. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for her friend's support and a renewed determination to succeed. Naruto, we've come a long way, and we're almost ready. With our combined efforts, we can complete the Celestial Concord and ensure the stability of our world. The team gathered for one final briefing before the ritual. They reviewed their roles and the steps they needed to take. Jiraiya, remember, this ritual is crucial for maintaining the balance between the divine and mortal realms. Stay focused and trust in your abilities. Sasuke, we prepared as much as we can. Let's make sure we execute the ritual perfectly. Sakura, we're ready. Let's do this. The night before the ritual, Naruto felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She knew the significance of what they were about to undertake and hoped that their efforts would be successful. As she lay in bed, she thought about her journey, her friends, and her growing powers. The path ahead was still uncertain, but she was ready to face it with the support of those she cared about. Naruto, tomorrow, we make history. For the sake of our world and our friends, I won't let anything stand in our way. With a determined heart, Naruto drifted off to sleep, ready to face the challenges of the next day. Chapter 6, The Ritual Begins. The sun began to rise, casting a golden hue over the village as Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Jiraiya gathered at the edge of a secluded glade. This location had been chosen for its connection to the celestial energies described in the ancient texts. The area was serene and untouched, making it ideal for performing the celestial concord ritual. Naruto stood at the center of the glade, her heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and nervousness. The staff and crystal orb lay beside her, their divine energy pulsing softly. Around her, the team busied themselves with preparations, setting up the ritual space according to the instructions they had gathered. Naruto, everything is set. Are we ready to begin? Jiraiya, we've reviewed all the steps and checked the timing. We're ready. Let's make sure we're all clear on our roles. Sakura, I'll be in charge of maintaining the ritual circle and ensuring that the energy flows correctly. Sasuke, you'll help with the alignment of the celestial energies. Sasuke, got it. I'll focus on channeling the divine energy through the artifacts and making sure everything is in harmony. Naruto, and I'll perform the central part of the ritual, using the staff and orb to stabilize the energies. Let's make sure we stay focused and work together. As the celestial event approached, the sky above began to shift, with stars aligning in patterns described in the ancient texts. The glade was bathed in a soft, otherworldly light, enhancing the ritual's atmosphere. Jiraiya, the alignment is perfect. We should begin now. Naruto picked up the staff and crystal orb, feeling their combined weight and energy. She took a deep breath and stepped into the center of the ritual circle, her divine presence radiating as she began the incantation. Naruto, by the balance of realms, I invoke the harmony between divine and mortal. With these sacred relics, I call upon the celestial forces to stabilize and unite our energies. As Naruto spoke the incantation, the staff and orb began to glow brightly. The divine energy surged through the artifacts, creating a brilliant light that filled the glade. Sasuke and Sakura focused on their roles, channeling their own chakra to support the ritual. Sasuke, Naruto, the energy levels are stabilizing. Keep the focus on the alignment. Sakura, the ritual circle is holding strong. The flow of energy is steady. Naruto's concentration was intense as she guided the energy through the staff and orb, ensuring that the divine and mortal realms were in harmony. The light grew brighter, and the energy waves began to resonate with the celestial alignment. Suddenly, a ripple of dark energy surged through the ritual space, causing the light to flicker. Naruto's eyes widened in alarm. Naruto, we're experiencing a disturbance. It must be the same dark force we encountered before. Jiraiya, stay focused. We need to maintain the ritual and counteract the disturbance. Sasuke quickly adjusted his position, using his chakra to counterbalance the dark energy. Sakura channeled additional energy into the ritual circle, reinforcing its stability. Sasuke, we have to strengthen the connection between the relics and the divine energy. Focus on maintaining the balance. Naruto concentrated harder, her divine energy intensifying as she pushed back against the dark force. The staff and orb glowed fiercely, creating a barrier of light that repelled the disturbance. Naruto, we can't let this disrupt the ritual. Keep the energy flowing smoothly. The struggle continued as the dark force resisted, but Naruto's determination and the team's coordinated efforts began to turn the tide. The light from the relics grew stronger, and the dark energy gradually receded. After what felt like an eternity, the dark force was finally subdued, and the ritual's light stabilized. The celestial alignment reached its peak, and the glade was enveloped in a serene, radiant glow. Jiraiya, we did it. The ritual is complete, and the divine energy is stabilized. Naruto, exhausted but relieved, lowered the staff and orb. The energy from the artifacts slowly dissipated, leaving the glade bathed in a soft, calming light. Sakura, that was intense. But we managed to pull it off. Sasuke, we handled the disturbance well. The ritual is successfully completed. Naruto took a deep breath, her divine presence fading back to its normal intensity. She looked at her friends with gratitude and exhaustion. Naruto, thank you all for your support. We couldn't have done this without each other. Jiraiya, you performed admirably, Naruto. The balance between the divine and mortal realms is secure for now. The team began to pack up their supplies, their spirits lifted by the success of the ritual. They knew that their efforts had made a significant difference in maintaining the stability of their world. As they headed back to the village, Naruto felt a sense of accomplishment and hope. The journey had been challenging, but it had strengthened their bonds and deepened their understanding of their roles in the world. Naruto, we've made great progress. But there's still much to do. We need to remain vigilant and continue working together to protect our world. Sasuke, agreed. We've faced challenges before, and will face more in the future. But with our teamwork and determination, we can overcome anything. The team returned to the village, ready to resume their daily lives, but with a renewed sense of purpose. The Celestial Concord ritual had been a pivotal moment in their journey, and they were prepared to face whatever came next with confidence and unity. Chapter 7, Aftermath and Reflections. The village was buzzing with excitement and relief following the successful completion of the Celestial Concord ritual. The sky seemed to shimmer with a renewed brilliance, and the atmosphere was filled with a sense of peace and accomplishment. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Jiraiya returned to the village, greeted by the curious and congratulatory cheers of the villagers. The weight of their recent achievement hung heavy in their hearts, but they also felt a deep sense of satisfaction. Naruto, it feels good to be back. The ritual was a success, and the village seems to be thriving. Sakura, yes, the village looks even more vibrant. It's clear that our efforts made a difference. Jiraiya, you all did an excellent job. We should take some time to rest and reflect on what we've accomplished. They made their way to the Hokage's office, where Naruto's success was formally acknowledged. Tsunade greeted them with a warm smile. Tsunade, congratulations on completing the ritual. Your hard work and dedication have truly paid off. The balance between the divine and mortal realms is secure. Naruto, thank you, Lady Tsunade. It was a challenging task, but we couldn't have done it without the support of each other and the villagers. Tsunade, your teamwork and resilience have been commendable. I'm proud of what you've achieved. There are still many tasks ahead, but for now, take some time to enjoy your success. As they left the Hokage's office, Naruto and Sasuke found a quiet spot by the village's training grounds. The setting sun cast a golden glow over the landscape, creating a peaceful and reflective atmosphere. Sasuke, we've come a long way since we started this journey. The ritual was a significant achievement, but there's still more to consider. Naruto, you're right. We need to stay vigilant. The dark force we encountered during the ritual was a reminder that challenges are always ahead. Sasuke, true. But we've grown stronger and more united through these experiences. Our bond is stronger than ever. Naruto looked at Sasuke, her heart swelling with affection. The journey they had shared had brought them closer, and she realized how much he meant to her. Naruto, I'm grateful for your support, Sasuke. We've been through so much together, and it's made me appreciate you even more. Sasuke, I feel the same way, Naruto. We've faced challenges, but we've always had each other's backs. It's made me realize how important you are to me. Their conversation was interrupted by Sakura, who approached with a cheerful smile. Sakura, hey, you too. I thought I'd find you here. I wanted to thank you both for everything. Your dedication and teamwork were incredible. Naruto, thank you, Sakura. Your support was crucial throughout this journey. Sakura, we make a great team. And let's not forget to celebrate our success. We deserve it after all the hard work. The trio decided to head to a local restaurant to enjoy a meal together. As they sat down and shared stories and laughter, the atmosphere was light and joyful. It was a moment of camaraderie and celebration, a well-deserved break from their recent trials. As the evening progressed, Naruto and Sasuke found themselves walking back to the village, the stars twinkling above them. Naruto, tonight was wonderful. It's moments like these that make everything worthwhile. Sasuke, yes, it was. I'm glad we could share this experience together. It's moments like these that remind me of what we're fighting for. Naruto reached out and took Sasuke's hand, feeling a sense of warmth and connection. Their bond had deepened through their shared journey, and she was grateful for the path they had traveled together. Naruto, I'm looking forward to what the future holds for us. Whatever challenges come our way, I know we'll face them together. Sasuke, I'm with you every step of the way, Naruto. Together, we can overcome anything. As they walked hand in hand under the starlit sky, Naruto felt a profound sense of contentment. The journey had been arduous, but it had strengthened their bond and solidified their purpose. The village, now at peace, seemed to reflect the tranquility that Naruto and her friends felt. Their efforts had made a significant impact, but the road ahead was still filled with possibilities and challenges. Naruto, here's to our continued journey. To the bonds we've strengthened, and to the future we'll build together. Sasuke, to our future, and to the adventures that await us. As they gazed at the stars, their hearts were filled with hope and determination. The trials they had faced had only made them stronger, and they were ready to embrace whatever came next with confidence and unity. Chapter 8, Unforeseen Challenges. The days following the successful completion of the Celestial Concord ritual were filled with a sense of tranquility and accomplishment. The village thrived under the balanced energies, and Naruto, Sasuke, and their friends enjoyed a well-deserved respite from their recent trials. However, peace in their world was often fleeting. The calm was shattered one morning when a messenger arrived at the Hokage's office with urgent news. Tsunade summoned Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura to discuss the situation. As they gathered in the Hokage's office, Tsunade's expression was grave. Tsunade, we've received reports of unusual disturbances occurring across the Land of Fire. Strange anomalies are being observed, and several villages have reported encounters with powerful, unfamiliar entities. Sakura, do we have any idea what these entities are, or where they're coming from? Tsunade, not yet. Our initial investigations suggest that these disturbances are related to the dark force we encountered during the ritual. It seems to be connected to an unknown source of power. Naruto, if it's connected to the dark force, then we need to act quickly. The balance we worked so hard to achieve might be at risk. Sasuke, agreed. We should start by investigating the areas most affected by these anomalies. It might help us understand what we're dealing with. Tsunade, I'll send out a team to gather more information. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, I'd like you to investigate the largest disturbance reported near the Forest of Death. It's crucial that we identify the source and address it before it escalates further. The trio set out towards the Forest of Death, their minds filled with the gravity of the situation. As they approached the dense forest, the atmosphere grew heavy with an unsettling energy. Naruto, this place feels different. The air is thick with a strange power. Sakura, we need to be cautious. If the disturbances are as serious as reported, there could be significant danger ahead. Sasuke, let's stay alert and keep our senses sharp. We need to find the source of this energy and neutralize it. They entered the forest, moving cautiously through the thick foliage. The deeper they went, the more intense the energy became. The trees seemed to warp and twist, and a palpable sense of unease filled the air. As they reached a clearing, they were met with an unexpected sight. A group of shadowy figures stood in the center of the clearing, their forms flickering with dark energy. They appeared to be performing a ritual of their own, their chanting filling the air. Naruto, those must be the entities causing the disturbances. We need to interrupt their ritual, before it's too late. Sasuke agreed. We'll approach carefully and take them out swiftly. The trio moved into position, preparing for battle. Naruto's divine aura flared as she readied herself, Sasuke's Sharingan activated, and Sakura prepared her chakra for a coordinated attack. Without warning, the shadowy figures turned to face them, their eyes glowing with an ominous light. The air crackled with dark energy as the figures began to move towards the trio. Naruto, get ready. The battle commenced, and the clearing erupted into chaos. Naruto unleashed her divine power, creating waves of light that clashed with the dark energy of the figures. Sasuke used his precise strikes and Sharingan abilities to counter the entity's attacks, while Sakura engaged in close combat, using her strength and agility to fend off the enemies. Despite their efforts, the shadowy figures were formidable, their dark energy seeming to counter the trio's attacks. The battle was intense, and it was clear that the entities were not to be underestimated. Sasuke, these things are tougher than we thought. We need to find out what's powering them. Naruto. I'll focus on disrupting their ritual. Cover me. Naruto pushed through the chaos, making her way towards the center of the clearing where the ritual was being performed. She could feel the dark energy coalescing around a large, pulsating crystal. Naruto, this must be the source of their power. With a determined focus, Naruto channeled her divine energy towards the crystal, attempting to disrupt its dark aura. The crystal began to crack under the pressure, and the dark figures around it grew frantic. Sakura, Naruto, you're doing great. Keep it up. As Naruto intensified her attack, the crystal shattered, releasing a surge of dark energy that rippled through the clearing. The shadowy figures screamed in agony as their power source was destroyed, and they began to dissipate into the darkness. The battle was won, but the trio was left panting and exhausted. The clearing was littered with debris, and the oppressive energy that had filled the forest began to recede. Sasuke, we did it. The source of the disturbances is gone. Naruto, we've made a significant impact, but we need to ensure that this is resolved across the land of fire. Sakura, let's return to the village and report our findings. We'll need to be prepared for any further complications. As they made their way back to the village, the weight of their victory was tempered by the knowledge that their work was far from over. The dark forces they had encountered were only a part of a larger, more complex situation. Naruto, we've faced a major challenge today, but we've proven that we can overcome it. We need to stay vigilant and continue to protect the balance we've worked so hard to achieve. Sasuke agreed. The fight isn't over, but we're stronger and more prepared than ever. We'll face whatever comes next together. The trio returned to the village, ready to regroup and prepare for the next steps in their ongoing mission. Their resolve was unwavering, and they were determined to see their journey through to the end. Chapter 9, Unraveling the Mysteries. The village was abuzz with news of the recent disturbances, but Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura's successful battle had brought a sense of relief. The trio returned to the Hokage's office to debrief and discuss their findings. Tsunade, I've been briefed on the situation. The disturbances you encountered were indeed significant, and your actions have prevented further damage. However, we need to understand the root cause more thoroughly. Naruto, we discovered a dark crystal that seemed to be the source of the disturbances. It was connected to the entities we fought. Tsunade, that's a crucial piece of information. We need to investigate whether there are more of these crystals or if there's a larger scheme at play. If these disturbances are part of a bigger plan, we need to be prepared. Sasuke, we should start by researching the origins of these crystals. There might be historical records or ancient texts that could shed light on their nature. Sakura, I can assist with the research. The village's archives should have information on ancient artifacts and dark energies. Tsunade, excellent. I'll coordinate with the archives and have the information sent to you. In the meantime, keep your guard up. There might be more threats we haven't yet encountered. The trio went to the village archives, a vast repository of historical records, ancient texts, and scrolls. They began their search for information related to the dark crystal and similar artifacts. Sakura, there are so many texts here. It might take a while to find what we need. Naruto, let's start by looking for any references to dark energy or ancient artifacts. Those should be the most relevant. Hours passed as they pored over scrolls and texts, their eyes scanning for anything that might provide answers. Eventually, Sasuke found an old manuscript that seemed to mention dark crystals and their properties. Sasuke, this manuscript describes dark crystals that were used in ancient rituals to channel forbidden energies. It mentions a powerful entity that sought to use these crystals to dominate realms. Naruto, that sounds like the entity we encountered. If these crystals are part of a larger plan, we need to understand how to counteract them. Sakura, the manuscript also mentions a method to purify these crystals. It involves a specific ritual that requires a combination of light and divine energies. Sasuke, that could be useful. If we encounter more of these crystals, we'll need to perform this purification ritual to neutralize their dark power. Naruto, we should prepare ourselves for this ritual and ensure we have everything we need. Let's also inform Tsunade about our findings and discuss our next steps. They returned to the Hokage's office with the information they had uncovered. Tsunade reviewed the manuscript and considered the implications. Tsunade, this information is invaluable. We'll need to gather the necessary materials for the purification ritual and be ready to act quickly if more dark crystals are discovered. Naruto, we should also consider training and enhancing our abilities. If we're going to face more threats, we need to be at our strongest. Tsunade, agreed. I'll arrange for additional training resources and support. In the meantime, stay alert and keep an eye out for any further disturbances. The trio set about preparing for the purification ritual and enhancing their abilities. They trained rigorously, honing their skills and strengthening their teamwork. The village was bustling with activity as everyone prepared for the possibility of more threats. One evening, as Naruto and Sasuke were taking a break from their training, they found themselves alone in the village's training grounds. The peaceful setting provided a moment of respite from their intense preparations. Naruto, we've been pushing ourselves hard. I'm grateful for your support and dedication through all of this. Sasuke, we've been through a lot together. Our bond has grown stronger, and it's made me realize how much I value our partnership. Naruto, I feel the same way. It's comforting to know that we can rely on each other no matter what challenges come our way. As they spoke, a gentle breeze rustled the trees, and the stars began to appear in the night sky. The calmness of the moment contrasted with the intensity of their recent battles, providing a sense of balance and serenity. Sasuke, no matter what happens, we'll face it together. We've proven that we can overcome anything when we stand united. Naruto, yes, together we're unstoppable. And no matter what the future holds, I know we'll face it with strength and determination. The night sky seemed to reflect their resolve, and as they stood together, they felt a deep sense of connection and purpose. The challenges they faced were daunting, but their commitment to each other and their mission remained unwavering. As they returned to their training, they felt a renewed sense of determination. The mysteries of the dark crystals and the threats they posed would not deter them. They were ready to face whatever came next, united in their purpose and their bond. Chapter 10, Echoes of the Past. The days passed as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura continued their preparations for any potential threats. The village remained vigilant, and the team focused on honing their skills and gathering the necessary materials for the purification ritual. Despite their busy schedules, Naruto and Sasuke found moments to bond and reflect on their journey. One afternoon, as they were training in the village's outskirts, a messenger arrived with urgent news. The messenger, breathless and anxious, handed a scroll to Tsunade, who read it quickly. Tsunade, we've received word from an old ally. They've reported sightings of dark energy similar to what we encountered before. The source appears to be an ancient ruin located in the outskirts of the Land of Fire. Naruto, an ancient ruin? That sounds like it could be related to the dark crystals we've been studying. Sasuke, we should investigate the ruins. If there's a connection, it could provide more clues about the dark forces we're dealing with. Sakura, I agree. Let's prepare for the journey and see what we can uncover. The team set out towards the ancient ruins, their path leading them through dense forests and rugged terrain. As they approached the site, the atmosphere grew heavy with an eerie energy. The ruins, overgrown with vines and shrouded in mist, looked both ancient and foreboding. Sasuke, stay alert. This place feels like it's holding a lot of secrets. Naruto, we should be careful. There might be traps or guardians left behind to protect whatever lies within. They carefully explored the ruins, their footsteps echoing in the silence. The walls were covered in faded inscriptions and symbols, hinting at a long-lost civilization that had once inhabited the area. Naruto's divine senses were heightened, allowing her to detect the lingering traces of dark energy. Sakura, look at these inscriptions. They seem to describe rituals and ancient powers. Naruto, these symbols might be related to the dark crystals we've encountered. If we can decipher them, we might gain insight into their origins and how to counteract their power. As they examined the inscriptions, a hidden passage was revealed behind a crumbling wall. The passage led them deeper into the ruins, and the air grew colder with each step. Sasuke, this passage seems to lead to a central chamber. Let's proceed with caution. They followed the passage until they reached a large chamber, its walls adorned with intricate carvings, depicting ancient battles and powerful beings. At the center of the chamber stood an altar with a dark crystal similar to the one they had destroyed before. Naruto, this must be another source of the dark energy. We need to neutralize it before it causes any more harm. As they approached the altar, a sudden gust of wind swept through the chamber, and a ghostly figure materialized before them. The figure was cloaked in shadows, its eyes glowing with an ominous light. Ghostly figure, you dare to intrude upon this sacred place? The power of the dark crystal is not to be trifled with. Naruto, we're here to stop the dark forces from threatening our world. We mean no harm to the sacredness of this place, but we must neutralize this crystal. Ghostly figure, the crystal's power is ancient and bound to this ruin. To destroy it, you must first face the trials of the past and prove your worth. The ghostly figure's form flickered, and the chamber transformed, revealing a series of challenging trials. Each trial represented a test of strength, wisdom, and courage. The trio braced themselves for the challenges ahead. Sakura, these trials will test our abilities and our resolve. We need to work together to overcome them. Naruto, stay focused and support each other. We've faced many challenges before, and we can overcome these as well. The trials began, and the team faced a series of obstacles that tested their skills and teamwork. They encountered illusions that played on their fears, combat challenges that pushed their limits, and puzzles that required their collective intellect. Despite the difficulties, their determination and unity allowed them to overcome each trial. The final trial, a test of their resolve and commitment to their mission, was the most demanding. They had to confront their deepest doubts and fears, drawing strength from their bond and their shared purpose. After successfully completing the trials, the ghostly figure reappeared, its expression one of respect and approval. Ghostly figure, you have proven yourselves worthy. The power of the dark crystal can now be neutralized. Use your divine abilities to cleanse it, and the ruin will be restored to its former peace. Naruto, thank you. We will do as you ask and ensure that this power is not used for malevolent purposes. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura approached the dark crystal, their combined energies focusing on the purification ritual described in the manuscript. The crystal's dark aura began to dissipate as they channeled their light and divine power into it. The chamber was illuminated with a brilliant light as the dark crystal was cleansed. The once oppressive energy was replaced with a serene, calming presence, and the ruin began to feel more peaceful. Sakura, we did it. The crystal has been purified. Sasuke, this is a significant victory. It's a step towards understanding and countering the dark forces we've been facing. Naruto. We've made progress, but there's still much to learn. We need to stay vigilant and continue our efforts to protect our world. As they left the ancient ruins, the trio reflected on their journey and the challenges they had overcome. The trials had tested their limits, but they had emerged stronger and more united. The evening sun cast a warm glow over the landscape as they made their way back to the village. The sense of accomplishment and the bond they had forged were evident in their interactions. Naruto, we've come a long way, but there's still more to do. I'm grateful for your support and dedication. Sasuke, we've faced many challenges, and we'll face more. But together, we're unstoppable. Sakura, we've grown stronger as a team, and we'll continue to protect our world with everything we have. Their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their resolve was unshakable, and their bond was stronger than ever. As they returned to the village, they knew that their mission was not just about overcoming obstacles but also about understanding and protecting the delicate balance of their world. Chapter 11, Shadows of the Future. The village had returned to a semblance of normalcy after the purification of the dark crystal. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura took a brief respite from their intense training and investigations, spending time catching up on their daily lives and rebuilding their strength. One evening, as Naruto and Sasuke were enjoying a quiet walk through the village, they were approached by a mysterious figure cloaked in dark robes. The figure's presence was unsettling, and an aura of foreboding surrounded them. Mysterious figure, Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha. I've been searching for you. Naruto, who are you? What do you want? Mysterious figure, my name is Kaido. I come with a warning. The dark forces you've encountered are only the beginning. There is a greater threat looming on the horizon. Sasuke, what kind of threat? We've already faced significant dangers. Kaido, the dark crystals are a mere fragment of an ancient prophecy. There are beings beyond your understanding who seek to plunge the world into chaos. The prophecy speaks of a celestial event that will awaken these beings and unleash their wrath. Naruto, a prophecy? Why are you telling us this now? Kaido, because you are destined to play a crucial role in preventing this catastrophe. The celestial event is drawing near, and you must prepare for the trials that lie ahead. Sasuke, what can we do to prepare? We've been training and gathering information, but we need more specifics. Kaido, you need to seek out ancient relics that hold the key to understanding and countering the impending threat. These relics are scattered across the land and are protected by formidable guardians. Only by obtaining them will you gain the knowledge and power needed to face the prophecy. The revelation was unsettling, but Naruto and Sasuke were determined to take action. They returned to the village to discuss their next steps with Tsunade. Tsunade, this is serious. If there's a prophecy involved, it means the threat could be far-reaching. We need to gather more information about these relics and the celestial event. Naruto, Kaido mentioned that the relics are protected by guardians. We should start by researching any historical records or legends related to these guardians and relics. Sakura, I'll look into the village archives and consult with historians. We need as much information as possible. The team began their research, delving into ancient texts, legends, and historical records. They discovered that the relics were indeed part of a long-forgotten prophecy and that the celestial event was tied to a rare astronomical alignment that would occur in a few months. Sakura, the relics are said to be hidden in various locations, each protected by a powerful guardian. The records describe these guardians as ancient beings with incredible strength. Sasuke, we need to prepare ourselves for these challenges. If the guardians are as formidable as the records suggest, we'll need to be at our best. Naruto. Let's divide our efforts. We'll each focus on finding and retrieving one of the relics. We can use our combined knowledge and skills to overcome the challenges ahead. With their plan in place, the team set out on their respective quests. Naruto traveled to a remote mountain range rumored to hold one of the relics, while Sasuke journeyed to a hidden temple, deep within a dense forest. Sakura stayed behind to continue researching and provide support from the village. As Naruto climbed the treacherous mountain paths, she encountered harsh weather conditions and difficult terrain. The challenges were taxing, but her divine strength and determination kept her going. She finally reached an ancient shrine at the peak, where the relic was said to be hidden. Naruto, I've made it to the shrine. Now, I need to find the relic and face whatever guardian awaits me. Inside the shrine, Naruto faced a series of trials designed to test her resolve and purity. The guardian, a majestic and imposing figure, emerged to challenge her. Guardian, to claim the relic, you must prove your worthiness. Only those with a pure heart and unwavering spirit can obtain it. Naruto faced the guardian's challenges with courage and integrity, demonstrating her strength and her commitment to protecting the world. Her efforts were rewarded when she successfully obtained the relic, which emanated a gentle, soothing light. Meanwhile, Sasuke ventured into the hidden temple, where he encountered a series of intricate puzzles and formidable traps. His keen intellect and combat skills were put to the test as he navigated through the temple's challenges. At the heart of the temple, he found the relic, guarded by a powerful and ancient being. Ancient being, you seek the relic, but only those who understand its true purpose may take it. Show me your resolve and your strength. Sasuke engaged in a fierce battle with the guardian, using his skills and strategies to overcome the challenge. After a grueling fight, he succeeded in obtaining the relic, which glowed with an intense, vibrant energy. Back in the village, Sakura continued her research and discovered crucial information about the celestial event. The alignment was said to be a convergence of cosmic energies that would awaken ancient beings and unleash their power. She prepared to assist Naruto and Sasuke with their findings and ensure they were ready for the next phase of their journey. Sakura, I've gathered information about the celestial event. We need to synchronize our efforts and prepare for the challenges ahead. The relics will play a crucial role in countering the impending threat. As Naruto and Sasuke returned to the village with their respective relics, they reunited with Sakura and discussed their findings. Naruto, we've obtained the relics and faced formidable challenges. We need to understand how to use them to prepare for the celestial event. Sasuke, we've made progress, but there's still much to learn. The relics and the event are interconnected, and we need to be ready for whatever comes next. Sakura, we'll continue to research and prepare. Together, we'll face the challenges ahead and ensure that the prophecy is fulfilled in a way that protects our world. The team's resolve was stronger than ever as they prepared for the celestial event and the challenges it would bring. Their journey was far from over, but their determination and unity would guide them through the trials ahead. Chapter 12, The Celestial Alignment. With the ancient relics secured, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura returned to the village to regroup and plan their next steps. The celestial alignment was drawing near, and their preparations were crucial to countering the impending threat described in the prophecy. The village buzzed with activity as the team worked tirelessly to integrate the relics into their strategy. Tsunade and the other leaders joined the effort, organizing defenses and preparing for any potential conflicts that might arise. Tsunade, we've made significant progress, but we need to ensure that we're ready for any eventuality. The celestial alignment is a rare and powerful event, and it could bring unforeseen challenges. Naruto, we'll need to use the relics to their full potential. The information we've gathered suggests that they hold the key to countering the dark forces and protecting our world. Sakura, I'll continue to analyze the relics and their properties. We need to understand how they interact with the celestial energies and how to harness their power effectively. As the day of the celestial alignment approached, the village prepared for the event. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura trained intensively, ensuring that they were physically and mentally ready for the challenges they might face. Sasuke, we should use this time to strengthen our bond and enhance our teamwork. The alignment will test us in ways we haven't encountered before. Naruto, agreed. Let's make sure we're prepared for anything that comes our way. We've faced many challenges together, and we'll face this one with the same determination. The night of the celestial alignment arrived, and the sky was illuminated by a breathtaking display of celestial bodies. The stars seemed to align in a cosmic dance, casting a mesmerizing glow over the land. The event was both awe-inspiring and foreboding, as the energy in the air was palpable. Naruto, this is it. The celestial alignment is beginning. We need to stay focused and be prepared for any disturbances or manifestations of dark energy. As the celestial event progressed, the energy in the air grew more intense. The relics began to resonate, their glow reflecting the alignment of the celestial bodies. The village was on high alert, with defense systems in place to protect against any potential threats. Suddenly, a dark rift appeared in the sky, and a surge of malevolent energy flowed from it. The rift widened, and figures began to emerge from it, ancient beings awakened by the alignment, their forms shadowy and ominous. Sakura, the rift is opening. We need to act quickly to contain the dark forces and prevent them from causing chaos. Sasuke, we'll have to use the relics to counteract the dark energy. The energy they emit might help close the rift and weaken the beings emerging from it. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura each took their positions, ready to deploy their relics. As they activated the relics, their combined energies created a protective barrier around the village, holding back the dark forces. The ancient beings, realizing that their plans were being thwarted, grew more aggressive. They began to attack the barrier, their dark energy crackling and distorting the protective shield. Naruto, we need to reinforce the barrier and hold them off until we can close the rift. The relics should be able to amplify our power if we focus their energies. Sakura, I'll enhance the barrier with my healing chakra. We need to stabilize it and prevent it from collapsing. Sasuke, I'll use my Sharingan to track and neutralize any of the dark beings that managed to breach the barrier. The team worked in perfect harmony, their combined efforts creating a formidable defense against the dark forces. The relic's energy surged, amplifying their power and strengthening the barrier. Despite their best efforts, the dark beings were relentless. They continued to attack, seeking to breach the barrier and spread their malevolent influence. Naruto and Sasuke fought valiantly, their divine and Uchiha powers pushing back against the onslaught. Naruto, stay strong. We're making progress. The relics are weakening the dark beings, but we need to keep our focus. Sasuke, we're almost there. Just a little longer, and we can close the rift for good. As the celestial alignment reached its peak, the rift began to stabilize. The dark energy that had poured forth started to recede, and the ancient being's attacks grew less frequent. Sakura, the rift is closing. We're almost there. Keep up the pressure and maintain the barrier. With one final, concentrated effort, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura channeled their energies into the relics, closing the rift and expelling the remaining dark forces. The barrier flickered and then solidified, repelling the last remnants of the malevolent energy. The sky cleared, and the celestial bodies returned to their normal positions. The village was safe, and the threat had been contained. Exhausted but triumphant, the team surveyed the aftermath of the battle. Tsunade, you did it. The village is safe, and the dark forces have been repelled. Your bravery and teamwork were exceptional. Naruto, it was a team effort. We couldn't have succeeded without each other. Sasuke, the relics played a crucial role, but our combined strength and resolve made the difference. Sakura, we faced a great challenge and emerged victorious. Let's continue to work together to ensure that our world remains protected. The team's success in overcoming the celestial threat marked a significant victory in their journey. They had faced immense challenges and proven their strength and unity. The bond they shared was stronger than ever, and their resolve to protect their world remained unwavering. As they returned to their normal routines, the team reflected on their experiences and the lessons they had learned. The celestial alignment had tested their limits, but it had also strengthened their resolve and deepened their connection. Their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their commitment to each other and their world would guide them through the trials yet to come. Chapter 13, Echoes of the Past. With the celestial alignment successfully thwarted, the village began to recover from the chaos. The threat had been contained, but the team knew that their journey was far from over. The relics had proven crucial, but their purpose and the ancient prophecy still held many mysteries. As Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura continued their preparations, they decided to investigate the origins of the relics further. They hoped that understanding their history would provide insight into the prophecy and help them prepare for any future challenges. One evening, they gathered in the village library, poring over ancient texts and scrolls. Sakura had found a reference to an old legend that mentioned the relics and their connection to an ancient order of guardians. Sakura, according to this legend, the relics were created by an ancient order that sought to protect the world from cosmic threats. They were imbued with powerful energies to guard against the darkness. Sasuke, if the relics were created by this order, then there must be records or writings about them. We need to find more information about this order and its purpose. Naruto, I agree. If we understand their purpose and how they were used in the past, we might find clues about the upcoming threats and how to deal with them. They continued their research, discovering that the ancient order had once been powerful protectors who wielded incredible abilities. They had battled cosmic entities and dark forces throughout history, using the relics to maintain balance and prevent chaos. Sakura, the order's writings describe a series of trials and challenges that they faced. These trials were designed to test their strength, wisdom, and resolve. It seems that the relics played a crucial role in these trials. Naruto, the trials must have been intense if they were designed to challenge such powerful beings. We should be prepared for similar challenges if we encounter any more threats. Sasuke, we should also look for any references to the celestial alignment in these writings. There might be information about how the order dealt with such events and what kind of preparations they made. As they delved deeper into the texts, they found a mention of an ancient artifact known as the celestial mirror, which was said to hold the power to reveal hidden truths and guide the chosen protectors. The mirror was believed to be a key element in understanding and countering cosmic threats. Sakura, the celestial mirror might be crucial for us. If it can reveal hidden truths, it could provide insight into the prophecy and help us prepare for future challenges. Naruto, we need to find the celestial mirror. The texts mention that it was hidden away in a secret location, protected by powerful guardians. Sasuke, let's focus on locating this artifact. It could be the key to understanding the prophecy and ensuring that we are fully prepared. Their search led them to an old map that depicted a hidden location deep within a remote mountain range. The map was marked with symbols and clues that suggested the presence of the celestial mirror. Determined to find the artifact, the team prepared for an expedition to the mountains. They gathered supplies, reviewed the map, and discussed their strategy. Naruto, we need to be cautious. The journey will be challenging, and there might be obstacles along the way. But if we find the celestial mirror, it will be worth the effort. Sasuke, we should be prepared for any guardians or traps that might be protecting the artifact. We'll need to use our skills and stay alert. Sakura, I'll use my medical skills and knowledge to support the team. We need to be ready for anything that comes our way. The team set out on their journey, navigating through treacherous terrain and facing various challenges. The mountain range was rugged and unforgiving, with steep cliffs, dense forests, and unpredictable weather. As they ascended the mountains, they encountered natural obstacles such as rock slides and narrow paths. They worked together to overcome these challenges, using their skills and teamwork to navigate through the difficult terrain. Naruto, we're making good progress, but we need to stay focused. The map indicates that we're getting closer to the location of the celestial mirror. Sasuke, keep an eye out for any signs or markers. The guardians might have set up traps or defenses to protect the artifact. As they approached the hidden location, they found an ancient entrance, partially obscured by overgrown vegetation. The entrance was adorned with intricate carvings and symbols that matched the ones on the map. Sakura, this must be the entrance. We need to be careful as we proceed. There could be traps or guardians inside. The team cautiously entered the ancient structure, their senses heightened and their readiness for any danger evident. The interior was filled with ancient relics, puzzles, and traps designed to test their skills and resolve. Naruto, we need to solve these puzzles to progress further. The artifacts and carvings might provide clues about how to proceed. Sasuke, I'll use my Sharingan to scan for traps and hidden mechanisms. We need to avoid any potential dangers. They carefully navigated through the structure, solving puzzles and avoiding traps as they made their way deeper into the hidden chamber. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation as they approached the final room where the celestial mirror was said to be located. Sakura, we're almost there. The mirror should be in the final chamber. Let's proceed with caution. In the final chamber, they found the celestial mirror resting on a pedestal, its surface shimmering with an otherworldly light. The mirror was surrounded by intricate symbols and carvings that seemed to pulse with energy. Naruto, the mirror is beautiful. Let's see what secrets it holds. As they approached the mirror, it began to glow, and a vision appeared on its surface. The vision revealed scenes from the past, showing the ancient order and their battles against cosmic threats. Sakura, the mirror is showing us the history of the order. It's providing insight into their battles and the challenges they faced. Sasuke, this information could be crucial. We need to pay close attention to the details and any guidance the mirror provides. The vision continued, revealing a prophecy related to the celestial alignment and the role of the chosen protectors. The mirror showed how the order had used the relics and their skills to counteract the dark forces and maintain balance. Naruto, the prophecy is becoming clearer. We need to use this knowledge to prepare for the upcoming challenges and ensure that we're ready to protect our world. With the information gained from the celestial mirror, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. They had uncovered valuable insights into the prophecy and the ancient order's methods for dealing with cosmic threats. As they made their way back to the village, they reflected on their journey and the challenges they had overcome. The discovery of the celestial mirror had provided them with crucial knowledge and strengthened their resolve to face whatever lay ahead. Naruto, we've learned a lot from the mirror. Let's use this knowledge to prepare for the future and ensure that we're ready for any threats that come our way. Sasuke, agreed. We've come a long way, but there's still much to do. Our journey is far from over. Sakura, we've faced many challenges together, and we'll continue to do so. Our bond and our determination will guide us through the trials ahead. The team's journey had taken them to new heights, and their understanding of the prophecy and the ancient order had deepened. As they continued their mission, they were ready to face the challenges and threats that awaited them, united in their commitment to protecting their world. Chapter 14, The Hidden Truths. With the revelations from the celestial mirror fresh in their minds, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura returned to the village. The knowledge they had gained promised to be invaluable, but they also knew that understanding and preparing for the upcoming trials would require more than just information. Back in the village, the atmosphere was one of cautious optimism. The villagers were grateful for the protection during the celestial alignment but remained anxious about what the future might hold. Tsunade and the village leaders convened to discuss the implications of the new information. Tsunade, the celestial mirror has provided us with critical insights, but we need to interpret the information carefully. The prophecy speaks of challenges yet to come, and we must be prepared. Naruto, we've learned about the trials faced by the ancient order and the significance of the relics. We need to prepare for the possibility of facing similar trials ourselves. Sakura, the mirror also mentioned a hidden power connected to the relics. We should investigate this further to understand how we can harness it. Sasuke, we should start by analyzing the details from the mirror. The prophecy mentioned specific trials and challenges related to cosmic forces. Understanding these will help us anticipate and counter them. The team began their research into the details revealed by the mirror. They reviewed the records of the ancient order and studied the specific trials and challenges mentioned in the prophecy. One evening, as they were deep in discussion, a new threat emerged. An unknown energy source was detected near the village, and it seemed to be connected to the dark forces they had previously encountered. Naruto, We need to investigate this energy source immediately. It might be related to the dark forces and could pose a threat to the village. Sasuke, I'll use my Sharingan to trace the source of the energy. We need to determine whether it's a new threat or a remnant of the previous conflict. Sakura, I'll prepare medical supplies and support. We might encounter injuries or need to provide assistance during the investigation. The team set out to locate the source of the energy, following the trail through the surrounding forests. The energy signature grew stronger as they approached, and the air crackled with dark energy. They soon arrived at a clearing where a dark rift was forming. The rift was similar to the one they had encountered during the celestial alignment, but it was smaller and less stable. Dark energy emanated from it, distorting the surroundings. Naruto, this rift is unstable, but it's still drawing in dark energy. We need to close it before it grows larger and becomes a bigger threat. Sasuke, I'll use my fire techniques to contain the rift. We need to prevent any more dark energy from entering the area. Sakura, I'll provide support and monitor the rift for any changes. We need to be prepared for any sudden shifts in energy. Sasuke unleashed a series of powerful fire techniques, targeting the rift and reducing the dark energy that was escaping. The heat from his flames created a barrier that contained the rift, but it was clear that their work was far from over. Naruto, we need to find the source of this dark energy. It might lead us to the origin of this new threat and provide clues about how to close the rift completely. They followed the energy signature to a nearby cave entrance. Inside, they discovered a hidden chamber filled with dark artifacts and remnants of dark energy. The chamber appeared to be a site of ancient rituals, and the dark energy seemed to be concentrated there. Sakura, these artifacts are connected to the dark forces we encountered. They might be amplifying the dark energy and contributing to the instability of the rift. Naruto, we need to neutralize these artifacts and disrupt the source of the dark energy. This chamber might be the key to understanding and closing the rift. The team worked together to dismantle the dark artifacts and disrupt the ritualistic patterns in the chamber. Naruto used her divine powers to purify the dark energy, while Sasuke's techniques helped to dismantle the artifacts and stabilize the area. As they worked, they uncovered a hidden scroll, detailing the purpose of the dark ritual. The scroll described a plan to summon and control cosmic entities for nefarious purposes, using the rift as a conduit. Sasuke, this scroll reveals their plan. They intended to use the rift to summon cosmic entities and spread chaos. We need to prevent this from happening again. Sakura, we should destroy the scroll and any remaining artifacts. We can't allow them to be used for dark purposes. The team destroyed the scroll and the dark artifacts, neutralizing the dark energy in the chamber. The rift began to close, and the dark energy dissipated, leaving the area calm once more. Naruto, we've managed to contain the threat for now. But we need to remain vigilant. The dark forces are persistent, and there might be more attempts to exploit the rifts. Sasuke, we should report our findings to Tsunade and the village leaders. They need to be aware of the new threat and the potential for future attacks. Sakura, agreed. We'll need to continue our preparations and ensure that we're ready for any challenges that arise. As they returned to the village, the team reflected on the day's events. Their investigation had revealed new threats and deepened their understanding of the dark forces they faced. They were more determined than ever to protect their world and prepare for the trials ahead. Their bond was stronger, and their resolve was unwavering. They knew that their journey was far from over, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead with courage and determination. Chapter 15, The Heart of Darkness. With the recent threat neutralized and the rift closed, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura returned to their village with a renewed sense of purpose. However, their victory was tempered by the realization that dark forces remained a persistent threat. The knowledge they had gained from the celestial mirror was invaluable, but it also revealed that the trials and challenges were far from over. As they reported their findings to Tsunade and the village leaders, the urgency of their situation became clear. The village was on high alert, and preparations were underway to fortify their defenses and increase their vigilance. Tsunade, you've done well in containing the threat. However, we must remain on guard. The dark forces are relentless, and we can't afford to be complacent. Naruto, we understand. The recent discovery of the dark artifacts and the scroll revealed that there are more significant threats we might face. Sakura, we need to stay proactive. The dark forces are likely to make another move, and we need to be ready for any new developments. Sasuke, we should focus on strengthening our defenses and gathering intelligence about any potential threats. We also need to continue our investigation into the prophecy and the trials. The team began working on their new objectives, splitting their time between strengthening the village's defenses and further researching the prophecy. They also sought out allies and gathered information about any suspicious activities in the surrounding regions. During their investigation, they came across reports of unusual activity in a remote area known for its mystical properties. The reports mentioned sightings of dark figures and strange disturbances, suggesting a possible link to the dark forces they had been battling. Naruto, we should investigate these reports. If there's a connection to the dark forces, it could provide us with valuable information about their plans and motives. Sasuke, I agree. We'll need to be cautious, as these disturbances might be a sign of something more significant. Let's prepare for any potential encounters. Sakura, I'll gather medical supplies and prepare for any injuries or emergencies. We should be ready for anything we might encounter. The team set out for the remote area, following the leads from the reports. The journey was long and arduous, with the terrain becoming increasingly rugged and unpredictable. The mystical properties of the area seemed to amplify the sense of unease, adding to the challenges they faced. As they approached the source of the disturbances, they discovered an ancient, hidden temple, partially buried in the mountains. The temple was adorned with symbols and markings that matched those they had encountered in their previous investigations. Naruto, this temple must be connected to the dark forces. The symbols and markings suggest that it was used for rituals and ceremonies. Sasuke, we need to be careful. The temple could be protected by traps or guardians. We should proceed with caution. Sakura, I'll use my medical expertise to keep an eye out for any hidden dangers or traps. We need to ensure our safety as we explore the temple. The team cautiously entered the temple, navigating through its dark and narrow passages. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, and the walls were lined with ancient carvings, depicting scenes of dark rituals and cosmic entities. As they ventured deeper, they came across a central chamber where a large, dark altar stood. The altar was surrounded by dark energy, and an ominous presence seemed to emanate from it. Naruto, this altar must be the source of the dark disturbances. We need to neutralize it and investigate any clues it might provide. Sasuke, I'll use my Sharingan to scan for any hidden mechanisms or defenses. We need to understand the nature of this dark energy and how to counter it. Sakura, I'll prepare to assist in any medical needs and support the team. We should be ready for any sudden changes or attacks. As Sasuke examined the altar, he discovered ancient inscriptions detailing a ritual designed to channel dark energy and summon cosmic entities. The inscriptions revealed that the altar was used to draw power from a hidden source, amplifying the dark force's influence. Sasuke, the inscriptions describe a ritual that uses the altar to channel dark energy. This could be a key part of the dark force's plans. Naruto, we need to disrupt the ritual and prevent any further amplification of the dark energy. If we can neutralize the source, it might weaken their influence. Naruto used her divine powers to purify the dark energy and disrupt the ritualistic patterns surrounding the altar. The chamber trembled as the dark energy began to dissipate, and the ominous presence was gradually diminished. Sakura, the dark energy is weakening. We need to ensure that the altar is completely neutralized and that there are no remaining threats. With the altar's power neutralized, the team continued their investigation of the temple. They discovered hidden chambers containing ancient texts and relics related to the dark force's rituals. The texts provided further insights into the nature of the cosmic entities and their connection to the dark forces. Naruto, These texts reveal more about the cosmic entities and their role in the Dark Forces' plans. We need to study this information and understand how to counter their influence. Sasuke, we should gather these texts and artifacts and return to the village. The information could be crucial in preparing for any future threats. Sakura, I'll ensure that the artifacts are safely transported and that any remaining dangers are addressed. We need to be thorough in our investigation. The team collected the ancient texts and relics, making their way back to the village. Their successful investigation had provided them with valuable knowledge about the Dark Forces and their plans. They were better prepared to face the challenges ahead, armed with new insights and a strengthened resolve. As they returned, they reflected on their journey and the progress they had made. The discovery of the hidden temple and the neutralization of the Dark Altar had been significant steps in their quest to protect their world. They knew that their mission was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever came next with courage and determination. Chapter 16: The Trial of Shadows. The village's atmosphere was one of tense anticipation. After their successful investigation into the hidden temple, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura had returned with crucial information about the Dark Forces and their plans. They spent the following days studying the ancient texts and preparing for the challenges ahead. One morning, as the sun rose over the village, Tsunade called the team to her office. She looked more serious than usual, and the weight of her expression conveyed the importance of what she was about to say. Tsunade, we've received intelligence that the Dark Forces are planning a significant attack. The reports indicate that they are preparing for a ritual that could amplify their power even further. Naruto, we need to prevent this ritual from taking place. If they succeed, it could have catastrophic consequences. Sasuke, we should focus on finding the location of the ritual and disrupting it. We also need to understand the details of the ritual to counteract it effectively. Sakura, I'll prepare medical supplies and support. We should be ready for any injuries or emergencies that might arise during the mission. Tsunade nodded in agreement and handed Naruto a detailed map indicating the possible locations of the ritual. The map also highlighted areas of interest that could provide clues about the Dark Forces' plans. Tsunade, the ritual is likely to take place in one of these locations. We need you to investigate each area and gather any information you can. Time is of the essence. Naruto, understood. We'll start our investigation immediately and work to prevent the ritual from taking place. The team set out, following the map and investigating each location in turn. They encountered several obstacles and minor skirmishes with Dark Force minions, but managed to stay focused on their mission. After several days of searching, they arrived at a remote and ominous forest known for its dense mist and eerie silence. The area seemed to emanate a dark aura, and the team felt an unsettling presence as they ventured deeper. Naruto, this place feels different. The dark energy is stronger here. We need to be on high alert. Sasuke, I'll use my Sharingan to scan for any hidden traps or signs of the ritual. We should proceed cautiously. Sakura, I'll stay close and provide support. The dark energy in this area might have unforeseen effects on us. As they navigated through the forest, they discovered a hidden entrance to an underground cavern. The entrance was concealed by an illusionary barrier, and it was only through Sasuke's keen perception that they found it. The cavern was vast and foreboding, with dark energy swirling around its walls. At the center of the cavern was a large, intricate altar surrounded by dark runes and symbols. Naruto, this must be the site of the ritual. We need to investigate the altar and determine how to disrupt the ritual. Sasuke, I'll examine the runes and symbols to understand the nature of the ritual. We need to find a way to neutralize the dark energy. Sakura, I'll keep watch for any potential threats or disturbances. We need to be prepared for any attacks or traps. As Sasuke studied the altar, he uncovered details about the ritual's purpose and the specific steps required to complete it. The ritual aimed to summon and control a powerful cosmic entity, amplifying the Dark Force's influence significantly. Sasuke, the ritual involves several stages, including the invocation of dark entities and the amplification of their power. We need to disrupt each stage to prevent the ritual from succeeding. Naruto, we need to act quickly. The dark forces will be trying to complete the ritual as soon as possible. We should focus on neutralizing the runes and disrupting the dark energy. The team worked together to neutralize the dark runes and symbols around the altar. Naruto used her divine powers to purify the dark energy, while Sasuke dismantled the ritualistic patterns. Sakura provided support, ensuring that any disturbances or threats were managed effectively. As they worked, dark force minions emerged from the shadows, attempting to stop them. The team engaged in a fierce battle, using their skills and teamwork to repel the attackers and continue their mission. Naruto, we're making progress, but we need to stay focused. The ritual must be stopped before it's too late. Sasuke, I'll finish dismantling the runes. We need to close any remaining gaps in the ritual structure. Sakura, I'll handle the minions and provide support. We need to ensure that we can complete the mission without any interruptions. Despite the intense battle, the team managed to neutralize the runes and disrupt the dark energy. The altar's power began to wane, and the swirling dark energy started to dissipate. Naruto, the ritual is being disrupted. We need to ensure that the remaining dark energy is neutralized and that the altar is completely deactivated. With the dark energy neutralized and the altar deactivated, the cavern began to calm. The ominous presence that had pervaded the area receded, and the team took a moment to catch their breath. Sasuke, we've managed to stop the ritual. We need to return to the village and report our findings. We should also ensure that no residual dark energy remains. Sakura, I'll conduct a final check to make sure the area is safe and that there are no lingering threats. The team returned to the village, bringing with them the knowledge they had gained from their investigation. They reported the successful disruption of the ritual and the steps taken to neutralize the dark force's influence. Tsunade, you've done an excellent job in stopping the ritual and protecting the village. Your efforts have been crucial in our fight against the dark forces. Naruto, we still have much work to do. The dark forces are persistent, and we need to remain vigilant. Sasuke, we'll continue our preparations and gather more information. We're ready for whatever challenges lie ahead. Sakura, we're stronger together, and we'll face the trials ahead with determination and courage. The team's successful mission had brought them closer to understanding the dark forces and their plans. They were more prepared than ever to face the challenges ahead, united by their resolve to protect their world. As they looked to the future, they knew that their journey was far from over. The trials and challenges were ongoing, but with their newfound knowledge and determination, they were ready to confront whatever came next. Chapter 17, Shadows of the Past. The village was abuzz with preparations as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura settled back into their routine. Despite the recent victories, the looming threat of the dark forces cast a long shadow over their daily lives. The intelligence they had gathered suggested that the dark forces were planning something even more sinister, and their mission was far from over. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Naruto and Sasuke stood on a balcony overlooking the village. The serenity of the view contrasted sharply with the unease they felt about the future. Naruto, we've made significant progress, but there's still so much we don't know. The dark forces are elusive and unpredictable. Sasuke, we need to uncover their ultimate goal and figure out how to stop them before it's too late. The information we've gathered is useful, but it's only part of the puzzle. Naruto, I've been thinking about the prophecy and the trials we've faced. There's something we might be missing, a deeper connection or a hidden truth that could help us. Sasuke nodded, understanding the weight of Naruto's thoughts. The prophecy had been a guiding force in their quest, but its full meaning remained shrouded in mystery. Sasuke, perhaps we should revisit the celestial mirror and examine any remaining clues. It might reveal something we haven't discovered yet. Naruto, that's a good idea. The mirror has shown us glimpses of the future and insights into the dark forces. There may be more it can reveal. The following day, the team made their way to the ancient site of the celestial mirror. The journey was a solemn one, filled with a sense of anticipation and apprehension. As they arrived, they were greeted by the familiar aura of mysticism and ancient power. Sakura, we're here. Let's see what the mirror has to say. We need to be prepared for whatever it might reveal. Naruto agreed. We need to approach this with an open mind and a clear focus on our goals. They approached the celestial mirror, its surface shimmering with a soft, ethereal glow. Naruto placed her hand on the mirror, and it responded with a gentle hum, revealing a series of images and symbols. As the images unfolded, they saw scenes of the past, ancient battles, powerful entities, and pivotal moments that shaped the course of history. Among the images, they noticed a recurring symbol that matched the dark runes they had encountered in the cavern. Naruto, this symbol, it's connected to the dark forces. It seems to be a key to understanding their plans. Sasuke, we need to decipher the meaning behind this symbol. It might reveal the next steps in their plan or a weakness we can exploit. Sakura, I'll analyze the symbol and compare it to our previous findings. We need to ensure that we don't miss any crucial details. As Sakura worked on deciphering the symbol, Naruto and Sasuke examined the remaining images. They saw a vision of a powerful entity bound by chains, its eyes glowing with a dark energy. The entity seemed to be a source of immense power, and its presence was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Naruto, this entity, it looks like it's central to the Dark Force's plans. It might be the source of their power or a key to their ultimate goal. Sasuke, if we can identify this entity and understand its role, we might be able to find a way to counter its influence. We need to gather more information about it. Sakura, the symbol we're analyzing might provide insights into the entity's nature and how to address it. We should focus on connecting these clues. After hours of analysis, Sakura discovered that the symbol was related to an ancient ritual designed to release and control powerful cosmic entities. The ritual was intended to amplify the Dark Force's power and establish dominion over their enemies. Sakura, the symbol is part of a ritual that could unleash the entity's power and amplify the Dark Force's influence. We need to find out where this ritual is taking place and how to prevent it. Naruto, we should use this information to pinpoint the location of the ritual. If we can locate it before it's completed, we might be able to stop it in time. Sasuke, let's focus on gathering more information about the ritual's location and any preparations that might be underway. We need to act quickly. With the new insights from the celestial mirror, the team set out to investigate potential locations for the ritual. They followed leads and gathered information from various sources, piecing together clues about where the dark forces might be conducting their final preparations. Their search led them to an isolated mountain range known for its mystical properties. The area was shrouded in a perpetual fog, and the dark energy they felt was stronger than ever. Naruto, this place matches the descriptions from our research. We need to proceed with caution and be prepared for any surprises. Sasuke, I'll use my Sharingan to scan for hidden traps and defenses. We need to ensure that we can access the ritual site without encountering too many obstacles. Sakura, I'll prepare for any medical emergencies and provide support. We should be ready for anything. As they navigated the foggy terrain, they discovered a hidden entrance leading to an underground chamber. The entrance was concealed by powerful illusions, making it nearly invisible. Naruto, this must be the site of the ritual. We need to uncover the truth and prevent the dark forces from completing their plans. The team prepared to enter the chamber. Their resolve strengthened by the knowledge they had gained. They knew that the upcoming confrontation would be their most challenging yet, but they were determined to protect their world from the encroaching darkness. Chapter 18, The Ritual of Shadows. The underground chamber was dimly lit, its walls lined with ancient symbols and dark runes. The air was thick with the scent of incense and a palpable sense of dread. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura cautiously entered the chamber, their senses heightened as they prepared for what lay ahead. Naruto, we need to find the center of the ritual and disrupt it before it's too late. Stay alert and be ready for anything. Sasuke, I'll use my Sharingan to locate any traps or hidden defenses. We need to ensure that we can approach the ritual site without being caught off guard. Sakura, I'll keep an eye out for any medical needs and provide support. We should be prepared for a fight if necessary. As they made their way through the chamber, they encountered a series of complex barriers and traps designed to deter intruders. Sasuke skillfully navigated these obstacles, using his Sharingan to detect and disarm the traps. Eventually, they reached the heart of the chamber, a large, circular platform adorned with intricate runes and symbols. At the center of the platform was a towering, dark crystal, pulsing with ominous energy. Naruto, that must be the focus of the ritual. We need to neutralize it and prevent the dark forces from completing their plan. Sasuke, the crystal is heavily protected by dark energy. We need to find a way to break through its defenses and deactivate it. Sakura, I'll work on analyzing the runes and symbols around the platform. They might provide clues on how to counteract the dark energy. As Sakura examined the runes, she noticed that they formed a complex pattern that was integral to the ritual's amplification. She realized that disrupting the pattern could weaken the crystal's power. Sakura, the runes are linked to the dark crystal. If we can break the pattern, it should weaken the crystal and disrupt the ritual. Naruto, I'll use my divine powers to purify the dark energy and counteract the crystal's influence. Sasuke, can you help me focus on the weak points? Sasuke, understood. I'll identify the weak points in the crystal's defenses and assist you in targeting them. Naruto channeled her divine energy, creating a barrier of light that began to counteract the dark energy emanating from the crystal. Sasuke used his Sharingan to pinpoint the weak points in the crystal's defenses, directing Naruto's efforts. As Naruto focused her energy on the weak points, the dark crystal began to crack and emit a high-pitched wail. The dark energy surrounding it pulsed violently, and the chamber shook with the force of the reaction. Sakura, we're making progress, but we need to be careful. The dark forces might attempt to interfere or launch a counterattack. As if on cue, a group of dark force minions emerged from the shadows, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. They charged at the team, intent on protecting the ritual's focal point. Naruto, we need to fend off these minions while we finish disrupting the ritual. Sasuke, cover me while I focus on the crystal. Sasuke, got it. Sakura, provide support and handle any injuries that come up. Sasuke engaged the dark minions with precision and skill, his Sharingan allowing him to anticipate their movements and strike effectively. Sakura used her medical abilities to heal any wounds and support Sasuke in battle. Naruto continued to focus on the crystal, her divine energy gradually breaking down its defenses. The dark energy began to dissipate, and the crystal's pulsations grew weaker. Naruto, we're almost there. Keep fighting and hold them off a little longer. With a final surge of divine power, Naruto shattered the dark crystal, causing a brilliant explosion of light that engulfed the chamber. The dark energy was purified, and the runes around the platform dissolved into nothingness. As the light faded, the chamber fell silent. The dark forces' minions lay defeated, and the ritual's focal point was reduced to rubble. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a sense of calm and relief. Sasuke, we did it. The ritual has been disrupted, and the dark crystal is destroyed. We need to ensure that there are no further threats. Sakura, I'll check for any residual dark energy or hidden traps. We should make sure the area is secure. The team carefully examined the chamber, ensuring that no remaining dark energy or threats were present. They gathered any remaining information and prepared to leave the site. Naruto, we've taken a significant step in stopping the dark forces. This victory is important, but we need to remain vigilant. There may be more challenges ahead. Sasuke, agreed. We should report our findings and continue our preparations. The dark forces are likely to retaliate, and we need to be ready. Sakura, we've accomplished a lot, but we must stay focused. Our mission is far from over. The team returned to the village, bringing with them the knowledge and experience gained from their confrontation with the dark forces. They reported their success to Tsunade and prepared for the next phase of their mission. As they looked to the future, they knew that their journey was not yet complete. The dark forces were relentless, and the path ahead would be filled with challenges. But with their strength, determination, and unity, they were prepared to face whatever came next. Chapter 19: The Gathering Storm. With the dark crystal destroyed and the ritual disrupted, the village was abuzz with the news of the team's victory. However, the respite was short-lived as unsettling reports from the surrounding regions hinted at a gathering storm. The dark forces, though weakened, were regrouping and preparing for a final push. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura gathered in Tsunade's office to discuss their next steps. The room was filled with a tense atmosphere as the team reviewed the latest intelligence reports. Tsunade, the reports suggest that the dark forces are mobilizing for a major offensive. They're consolidating their power and preparing to strike at key locations. Naruto, we need to anticipate their movements and prevent them from launching a full-scale attack. Our priority should be to identify their targets and disrupt their plans. Sasuke, I agree. We need to gather more information about their strategy and find a way to counter their offensive. We can't let them regain their momentum. Sakura, I'll work on analyzing the data and identifying potential targets. We need to prioritize our efforts and focus on the most critical threats. Tsunade, we've received reports of dark force activity in several regions. I need you three to investigate these areas and gather as much information as possible. We must be prepared for their next move. The team set out to investigate the dark forces' activities, traveling to the regions that had reported increased activity. They encountered several isolated villages and towns affected by the dark forces' presence, each showing signs of unrest and fear. In one of the villages, they met with local leaders who provided valuable information about recent incidents. Village leader, we've been experiencing strange occurrences, dark creatures appearing in the night, people disappearing, and a general sense of unease. We fear that something terrible is coming. Naruto, thank you for the information. We're here to help and find out what's really happening. Any details you can provide will be crucial. As they investigated further, they discovered evidence of dark force patrols and hidden camps in the area. The dark forces were clearly preparing for something significant, and their activities were becoming more coordinated. Sasuke, the dark forces are establishing a network of camps and fortifications. They're planning a large-scale operation, possibly targeting multiple locations simultaneously. Sakura, we need to determine the scale of their operation and find a way to disrupt their plans. If we can identify their main base of operations, we might be able to weaken their overall strategy. Naruto, let's continue our investigation and gather as much information as possible. We need to stay ahead of their plans and anticipate their moves. As they delved deeper into their investigation, they uncovered a series of coded messages and maps indicating the dark forces' targets. The information revealed a coordinated assault on several key locations, including strategic military posts and vital supply routes. Naruto, these maps show that the dark forces are targeting critical points in our defenses. We need to inform the village leaders and prepare countermeasures. Sasuke, I'll work on decoding the messages and mapping out their planned attacks. We need to ensure that our defenses are ready and that we can respond effectively. Sakura, I'll coordinate with the local medical teams and ensure that we have the necessary resources to handle any casualties or emergencies. The team returned to the village with their findings, briefing Tsunade and other key leaders on the dark forces' plans. The information was critical in organizing a response and fortifying defenses. Tsunade, this is a serious threat, but we're not without resources. We'll mobilize our forces and prepare for the attacks. Your intelligence has given us a crucial advantage. Naruto, we need to be vigilant and ready for anything. The dark forces will likely attempt to exploit any weaknesses in our defenses. Sasuke, we should also consider launching a preemptive strike on their camps to disrupt their preparations and weaken their forces. Sakura, I'll help coordinate the logistics and ensure that our response is as efficient as possible. We need to be prepared for any scenario. With their plan in place, the village prepared for the impending conflict. The team worked tirelessly to fortify defenses, coordinate with allied forces, and prepare for the dark forces' assault. As the days passed, the tension in the village grew, but so did their determination. The team's efforts were focused on ensuring that they could withstand the dark forces' onslaught and protect their home. Naruto, we've faced many challenges, but this is our greatest test yet. We need to stay united and strong, and we will overcome this threat together. Sasuke agreed. We've come this far, and we're not backing down now. We'll face whatever comes with resolve and determination. Sakura, we've prepared as best as we can. Now, it's time to see our efforts through and ensure that we protect everything we've worked for. The stage was set for the confrontation that would determine the fate of the village and the world. As the Dark Forces' offensive loomed, the team remained steadfast in their commitment to protect their home and defeat the encroaching darkness. Chapter 20, The Siege Begins. The sun set on the eve of the anticipated assault, casting an orange glow over the village. Tension hung in the air like a heavy fog as the villagers and shinobi prepared for the incoming siege. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood atop the village walls, surveying the preparations and the horizon for any signs of the dark forces' approach. Naruto, everything is in place. The defenses are fortified, and the troops are ready. We just need to remain vigilant and adapt to whatever the dark forces throw at us. Sasuke, we've anticipated their strategies and reinforced our weak points. It's up to us now to respond effectively and ensure that their assault fails. Sakura, I've coordinated with the medical teams and ensured that we're prepared for any casualties. We'll be ready to provide support and treatment as needed. As night fell, the first signs of the dark forces became visible. Shadows moved on the outskirts of the village, and the distant rumble of marching forces grew louder. The village was bracing for impact, and the air was thick with anticipation. The dark forces launched their assault under the cover of darkness. The first wave consisted of dark minions and demonic beasts that charged towards the village walls. The defenders held their ground, repelling the initial attack with a combination of skill and strategy. Naruto, they're testing our defenses. Focus on holding the lines and pushing them back. We need to make sure they don't breach our walls. Sasuke, I'll use my Sharingan to track their movements and anticipate their next moves. We need to stay one step ahead of them. Sakura, I'll provide support from the rear, healing any injured and reinforcing our defenses where needed. We need to keep our forces strong and resilient. As the battle raged on, the dark forces intensified their assault. They deployed larger, more powerful creatures and used dark magic to breach the village's outer defenses. The clash between the village defenders and the dark forces was fierce, with both sides demonstrating their strength and resolve. Naruto, they're becoming more aggressive. We need to deploy additional forces to key areas and counter their push. Sasuke, I'll take a small team and focus on their command structures. If we can disrupt their coordination, it will give us an advantage. Sakura, I'll stay here and ensure that our medical teams are prepared for the influx of casualties. We can't afford to lose any ground. Sasuke led a squad to strike at the Dark Forces command units, using his Sharingan to identify and target their leaders. The team executed precise strikes, disrupting the enemy's coordination and causing confusion among their ranks. Meanwhile, Naruto used her divine powers to fortify the village's defenses and counteract the dark magic being used against them. Her presence was a beacon of hope for the defenders, and her abilities provided a significant boost to their morale. Naruto, keep pushing them back. We're holding strong, and we can't let them break through. Our unity and strength are our greatest assets. As the night wore on, the battle showed no signs of abating. The dark forces were relentless, and their attacks continued to come in waves. The defenders, though weary, fought with unwavering determination. The first light of dawn began to break through the night sky, signaling the start of a new phase in the battle. The dark forces, seeing the sun rise, intensified their efforts, hoping to achieve a decisive breakthrough. Sasuke, the sunrise is giving them renewed strength. We need to push back with everything we've got and prevent them from gaining the upper hand. Sakura, I'll coordinate with the frontline units and ensure that we're prepared for their final push. We need to hold out just a little longer. The final hours of the battle were the most intense. Both sides fought with everything they had, and the outcome hung in the balance. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura continued to lead and support their forces, determined to turn the tide in their favor. As the battle reached its climax, Naruto unleashed a powerful surge of divine energy, pushing back the dark forces and breaking their momentum. The dark creatures and minions faltered, their ranks thinning as the villagers and shinobi pressed their advantage. Naruto, now is our chance. Press the attack and drive them out. We can end this once and for all. With renewed vigor, the defenders launched a final, decisive assault on the dark forces. The coordinated effort and unwavering resolve of the village forces turned the tide of the battle, driving the dark forces back and securing a hard-fought victory. As the dark forces retreated, the village emerged from the battle battered but victorious. The defenders celebrated their hard-won triumph, their spirits lifted by the successful repulsion of the siege. Sasuke, we held our ground and drove them back. This victory is a testament to our strength and unity. Sakura, we've endured a grueling battle, but we've come through stronger. We need to tend to the wounded and assess the damage. Naruto, we've achieved a significant victory, but the threat isn't over. We need to stay vigilant and continue our preparations for any future challenges. The village began the process of recovery and rebuilding, their resolve stronger than ever. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura reflected on their experiences and the trials they had faced. Their bond had deepened through the trials of battle, and their commitment to protecting their home remained unwavering. As they looked towards the future, they knew that there would be more challenges ahead, but they were ready to face them together. The battle had tested their limits, but it had also solidified their strength and unity. With their resolve renewed, they prepared to face whatever came next with courage and determination. Chapter 21, The Aftermath. As the sun rose on the day following the battle, the village began to recover from the siege. The defenders, though exhausted, were filled with a sense of accomplishment and relief. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were at the forefront of the recovery efforts, helping to assess the damage and tend to the wounded. Naruto, the battle was fierce, but we held our ground. Now, we need to focus on rebuilding and supporting those who were affected. Sasuke, we've lost some key structures and resources, but we can rebuild. The village's resilience has been proven once again. Sakura, I'll coordinate with the medical teams to ensure that all injured are treated and that we have the resources needed for recovery. We should also provide psychological support for those affected. As the village began the process of repairing the damage, the mood was a mixture of relief and reflection. The victory had been hard-earned, and the cost of the battle was evident in the damaged buildings and injured villagers. Tsunade gathered the village leaders and key personnel to discuss the aftermath of the battle and the next steps. Tsunade, we've achieved a significant victory, but the fight is far from over. The dark forces will regroup and possibly launch further attacks. We must use this time wisely to strengthen our defenses and prepare for any future threats. Naruto, we need to identify any remaining pockets of dark forces and eliminate them. We should also focus on improving our defenses to prevent future breaches. Sasuke, I'll lead a team to track down any remaining dark forces and ensure they don't pose a threat. We need to secure our perimeter and ensure that they can't regroup. Sakura, I'll work on coordinating with the local communities to assess their needs and ensure they have the support they require for recovery. We also need to provide emotional support for those who are struggling. As the days went by, the village gradually returned to normalcy. The recovery efforts were progressing, and the villagers showed remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. The team continued to lead and support the rebuilding process, their dedication evident in their every action. During a moment of respite, Naruto and Sasuke took some time to reflect on their experiences and the changes they had undergone. Naruto, this battle has taught us a lot about our strengths and our limits. It's also shown us the importance of unity and support. Sasuke, agreed. We've faced incredible challenges, but we've come through stronger. Our bond and determination have been our greatest assets. Naruto, we've also learned that there's always more to be done. We can't afford to rest on our laurels. We need to continue preparing for whatever comes next. Sasuke, we'll remain vigilant and ready for any future threats. Our commitment to protecting this village and its people is unwavering. Sakura, we've come a long way, but there's still much to do. Let's continue working together to ensure that we're prepared for whatever the future holds. As the team continued their efforts, they found moments of solace in their shared victories and the bonds they had forged through their trials. The village began to heal, both physically and emotionally, and the people looked towards the future with renewed hope and determination. The battle had left its mark on everyone, but it had also brought them closer together. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura had faced their greatest challenge yet and emerged stronger for it. Their experiences had deepened their understanding of themselves and each other, and their resolve to protect their home had never been stronger. Naruto, we've faced the storm and come through stronger. We'll face whatever comes next with the same strength and unity. Sasuke, together, we can overcome any challenge. Our bond and determination will see us through. Sakura, we've proven our strength and resilience. Now, let's continue to support each other and build a brighter future. With their spirits lifted and their resolve strengthened, the team looked forward to the future with hope and determination. The battle had tested them, but it had also solidified their commitment to protecting their home and their people. As they prepared for the challenges ahead, they knew that they would face them together, with courage and unity. Chapter 22, New Challenges. The village was steadily returning to its former glory. The repairs were nearly complete, and the injured had begun to recover. The days following the siege were filled with a sense of cautious optimism. However, the aftermath also brought new challenges that required the attention of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Naruto, we've made great progress in rebuilding, but there's something troubling me. The dark forces may have been defeated, but we need to ensure that we're prepared for any future threats. Sasuke, agreed. The dark forces were only one aspect of the larger threat. We need to consider the possibility of other dangers or factions that might exploit the village's weakened state. Sakura, we should also focus on strengthening our alliances and forging new ones. If we can build stronger relationships with neighboring villages and countries, we'll be better prepared for any future conflicts. The team decided to embark on a mission to strengthen alliances and gather intelligence on potential threats. Their first destination was a neighboring village known for its strong defense capabilities and strategic importance. Upon arriving at the neighboring village, they were greeted by its leader, who was both impressed and concerned about the recent events. Village leader, we've heard about the battle you faced and the challenges you overcame. Your village's resilience is commendable. However, we also know that the dark forces were part of a larger movement. Naruto, exactly. We need to understand the scope of this threat and work together to address it. We're looking to strengthen our alliance and share information to better protect our people. Village leader, we've been monitoring unusual activities and reports of dark forces in our region. There's been increased movement among various factions, and we suspect that they might be regrouping. Sasuke, we should collaborate on intelligence gathering and joint defensive strategies. The more we know about these factions, the better we can prepare. Sakura, additionally, we should consider establishing regular communication channels between our villages. This will help us coordinate our efforts and respond more effectively to any threats. The neighboring village agreed to the proposal, and a new alliance was formed. The team worked with the village's shinobi to share information and develop strategies to counter any potential threats. They also made plans to visit other neighboring regions to establish similar alliances and gather further intelligence. During their travels, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura encountered various challenges, including skirmishes with rogue factions and diplomatic negotiations with other villages. Each experience provided valuable insights and strengthened their resolve. One evening, as they were preparing to depart for their next destination, Naruto and Sasuke had a quiet moment to themselves. Naruto, We've made significant progress in strengthening our alliances, but I can't shake the feeling that something larger is at play. The dark forces were just one piece of a bigger puzzle. Sasuke, I share your concerns. The increased activity among various factions suggests that there may be a more complex threat. We need to remain vigilant and continue our efforts to uncover the full scope of the danger. Naruto, we've faced challenges before and come out stronger. I believe we can handle whatever comes next, as long as we stick together and stay focused. Sasuke, agreed. Our bond and determination have always been our greatest strengths. We'll face this challenge as we have all others, together. Their next stop was a remote region known for its mystical properties and ancient secrets. They hoped to uncover any hidden knowledge or artifacts that might provide insight into the larger threat they suspected. Upon arrival, they were greeted by the region's guardians, who were initially wary but eventually welcomed them after hearing about their mission. Guardian, this land holds many secrets, some of which have been forgotten by time. If you seek knowledge or artifacts, you must be prepared for the trials that lie ahead. Naruto, we're ready. We seek to understand the nature of the threat we face and to find any tools or knowledge that can aid us in protecting our people. The guardians led them through ancient temples and hidden sanctuaries, where they encountered various trials designed to test their resolve and abilities. The challenges they faced were not only physical, but also mental and spiritual, pushing them to their limits. During these trials, Naruto and Sasuke's bond was tested and strengthened. They relied on each other's strengths and support to overcome the obstacles and uncover valuable knowledge. As they emerged from the trials, they discovered ancient texts and artifacts that hinted at a greater cosmic threat, a force that sought to disrupt the balance of the world. The knowledge they uncovered provided crucial insights into the nature of the threat and potential strategies to counter it. Naruto, this knowledge is invaluable. It confirms our suspicions and provides us with a clearer understanding of the threat we face. Sasuke, we need to share this information with our allies and use it to refine our strategies. The more we know, the better prepared we'll be. Sakura, we should also continue our efforts to build alliances and strengthen our defenses. This threat is unlike anything we've faced before, and we need to be ready for it. With their newfound knowledge and strengthened alliances, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura prepared to return to their village. They were determined to use the insights they had gained to protect their people and address the greater threat looming on the horizon. As they set out for home, they knew that their journey was far from over. The challenges ahead would be formidable, but they were ready to face them with courage, unity, and unwavering resolve. Chapter 23, The Rising Storm. Returning to their village with new insights and strengthened alliances, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were greeted with a mix of anticipation and unease. The village was in the midst of fortifying its defenses and preparing for any potential threats. However, the weight of the new information they had uncovered was evident on everyone's minds. As Naruto and Sasuke reviewed the ancient texts and artifacts they had discovered, they began to piece together the nature of the looming threat. Naruto, the texts speak of an ancient cosmic force seeking to disrupt the balance of our world. It's a power that transcends the dark forces we've faced. Sasuke, the force appears to have connections to both the natural and supernatural realms. It's more than just a physical threat, it's an existential one. We need to understand its motives and weaknesses. Sakura, we should consult with the village's scholars and sages to see if they have any additional insights. They might be able to provide context or historical knowledge that could be useful. The team organized a meeting with the village's scholars and sages to discuss their findings. The scholars were intrigued by the texts and quickly got to work analyzing them. Village scholar, these writings are ancient and speak of a time when cosmic forces sought to reshape the world. If this force is seeking to re-emerge, it could have devastating consequences. Village sage, we must find a way to counteract this threat. The balance of our world is delicate, and any disruption could have catastrophic effects. There may be ancient methods or artifacts that can aid us. Naruto, we need to gather as much information as possible and explore any potential solutions. Time is of the essence. In their pursuit of answers, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura traveled to various locations known for their mystical significance. They visited ancient ruins, consulted with reclusive sages, and sought out hidden artifacts that might hold the key to understanding and combating the cosmic force. One night, as they camped in a secluded area, Naruto and Sasuke had a moment of quiet reflection. Naruto, we've uncovered so much, but there's still so much we don't know. The threat we face is unlike anything we've encountered before. Sasuke, we're dealing with a force that has cosmic implications. It's beyond our normal understanding. But if we continue to work together and use our resources wisely, we can overcome it. Naruto, we've always faced our challenges head-on. This will be no different. We need to stay focused and united, no matter how daunting the threat may seem. Sasuke, agreed. Our strength lies in our unity and determination. We've faced impossible odds before and emerged victorious. We will do so again. Their journey led them to a remote sanctuary rumored to house an ancient artifact capable of countering cosmic forces. The sanctuary was protected by powerful enchantments and trials designed to test the worthiness of those who sought its secrets. The trials were grueling, involving tests of strength, wisdom, and spirit. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura relied on their combined abilities and their unwavering bond to overcome each challenge. At the heart of the sanctuary, they discovered the artifact, a celestial crystal said to hold the power to balance cosmic energies. The crystal was imbued with ancient protective spells and required a sacrifice to activate. Naruto, this artifact could be the key to countering the cosmic force. But activating it will require a significant sacrifice. We need to be prepared for whatever it demands. Sasuke, we must be willing to make the necessary sacrifice for the sake of our world. The greater good must come first. Sakura, whatever the sacrifice, we'll face it together. We've come this far and faced countless trials. We're ready for this. As they prepared to activate the artifact, a sudden disturbance disrupted the sanctuary. Dark forces, aware of their quest, had tracked them and were closing in on their location. The team quickly realized that they were not only fighting against time but also against the dark forces determined to prevent them from using the artifact. A fierce battle ensued, with Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura fighting valiantly to protect the sanctuary and the celestial crystal. The battle was intense, with the dark forces wielding formidable powers. Despite the odds, Naruto and Sasuke fought with unwavering resolve, their bond and determination evident in every strike. Sakura supported them with her medical skills and strategic insights, ensuring that they remained strong throughout the battle. In the midst of the chaos, Naruto managed to activate the celestial crystal, unleashing its powerful energy to repel the dark forces. The sanctuary was bathed in a brilliant light, and the dark forces were driven back. Naruto, the crystal has activated. We've done it. Sasuke, the balance has been restored, but we still need to remain vigilant. The threat may not be entirely eliminated. Sakura, we've achieved a significant victory, but we must continue our efforts to protect our world. The cosmic force is still a looming threat. Exhausted but triumphant, the team returned to their village with the celestial crystal and the knowledge they had gained. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead with courage and unity. As they settled back into their roles, the village began to prepare for the next phase of their efforts. The cosmic threat remained a looming concern, but with their newfound knowledge and strength, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were ready to confront it and protect their world from the dangers that awaited. Chapter 24. With the celestial crystal now safely in their possession, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura returned to the village, ready to address the imminent threat posed by the cosmic force. Their victory in the sanctuary was a crucial step, but they knew the real battle lay ahead. Back in the village, the atmosphere was one of cautious optimism. The villagers were hopeful, but the air was thick with anticipation. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were greeted with relief and admiration for their success in securing the celestial crystal. Naruto, we've acquired the artifact, but we need to understand how to use it effectively against the cosmic force. We should consult with our allies and experts to devise a strategy. Sakura, the crystal's power is immense, but its activation and use require precise knowledge. We need to ensure that we're fully prepared before confronting the cosmic threat. The team organized a meeting with the village's scholars, sages, and their allies to discuss the next steps. They presented their findings and the celestial crystal, seeking guidance on how to harness its power. Village sage, the celestial crystal is a powerful tool, but its use is not without risk. It must be wielded with great care, as it can have unintended consequences if not handled properly. Village scholar, we'll need to perform a detailed analysis of the crystal to determine its capabilities and limitations. Additionally, we should develop a comprehensive plan for its application in combating the cosmic force. As the scholars and sages worked on the analysis, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura took the opportunity to reflect on their recent experiences. They discussed their personal journeys and the challenges they had faced. Sakura, we've come so far, but there's still so much to do. The cosmic force is a threat like no other. We need to be prepared for anything. Naruto, we've faced numerous challenges together, and each one has strengthened our bond. We'll face this threat with the same determination and unity. Sasuke, our past experiences have taught us valuable lessons. We must apply that knowledge to this new challenge and ensure that we're fully prepared. As they spoke, a shadowy figure appeared on the outskirts of the village. The figure was cloaked and carried an air of mystery. It approached the village with an intent that was unclear, but its presence immediately raised alarm. Naruto, we have an intruder. I'll go and investigate. Naruto approached the figure cautiously. The figure revealed itself to be an enigmatic traveler with knowledge of the cosmic force and its origins. The traveler claimed to have information that could help them understand the nature of the threat and how to counter it. Traveler, I have been watching the events unfold and possess knowledge about the cosmic force you are about to face. My information might be crucial in your battle against it. Naruto, who are you, and why should we trust you? Traveler, my name is Elian, and I have studied the cosmic forces for centuries. I have seen their rise and fall. I offer my knowledge in the hopes of preventing another catastrophe. Elian was brought to the village council, where they shared their insights about the cosmic force. According to Elian, the force was not merely a destructive entity but a complex and ancient entity with motives rooted in cosmic balance. Elian, the cosmic force seeks to disrupt the balance of the world to fulfill its own agenda. It is driven by a desire to reshape reality according to its vision. To counter it, you must understand its nature and find a way to restore balance. Sasuke, what can we do to combat this force effectively? Elian, you must find the source of its power and confront it directly. The celestial crystal is a key component, but you will need to combine it with ancient rituals and strategies to neutralize the cosmic force. It will require courage and sacrifice. Elian's information provided a new perspective on their mission. The team began preparations for a ritual that would harness the power of the celestial crystal and confront the cosmic force. Naruto, we need to gather the necessary components for the ritual and ensure that we have the support of our allies. This will be a formidable task. Sakura, we should also prepare ourselves mentally and physically. The confrontation with the cosmic force will be intense, and we must be ready for whatever challenges lie ahead. The team set out to gather the required components for the ritual and to coordinate with their allies. They also worked on fortifying their defenses and preparing for the final confrontation with the cosmic force. During their preparations, Naruto and Sasuke spent time reflecting on their journey and their relationship. They had faced numerous trials together, and their bond had grown stronger. Naruto, we've been through so much together. I'm grateful for your support and strength. Sasuke, I feel the same. Our journey has been challenging, but it has brought us closer. We're ready for whatever comes next. As the time for the ritual approached, the village prepared for the climactic battle. The celestial crystal was carefully placed in a ceremonial chamber, and the final preparations were made. The stage was set for the ultimate confrontation with the cosmic force. With their allies and newfound knowledge, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were determined to face the challenge head-on and protect their world from the looming threat. Chapter 25, The Dawn of a New Era. The day of the final confrontation arrived. The village was a hive of activity as everyone prepared for the battle against the cosmic force. The celestial crystal, now central to their strategy, was securely housed in the ceremonial chamber, its glow a constant reminder of the immense power it held. Naruto, today is the day we've been preparing for. We must stay focused and work together. The future of our world depends on this. Sasuke, we've faced many challenges, but this is the most significant. We need to be at our best and execute our plan flawlessly. Sakura, we're ready. We've trained, prepared, and gathered everything we need. Let's see this through to the end. The team, along with their allies, assembled at the ceremonial chamber where the ritual would take place. Alien, having provided critical insights, was present to assist with the final preparations. The air was thick with anticipation as the villagers gathered to witness the climactic battle. Alien, the cosmic force is a powerful and ancient entity. It will not be easily subdued. Be prepared for anything. The chamber was meticulously arranged with the components needed for the ritual. The celestial crystal was placed at the center, surrounded by protective runes and ancient symbols. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura took their positions, ready to begin the ritual. Naruto, let's start the ritual. We need to channel the crystal's power and direct it at the cosmic force. As the ritual commenced, the celestial crystal began to emit a brilliant light, resonating with ancient energies. The team chanted incantations and performed intricate hand signs, focusing their chakra to enhance the crystal's power. Outside the village, the cosmic force loomed ominously, its dark presence casting a shadow over the land. The skies darkened, and a powerful wind swept through the area, signaling the arrival of the entity. The cosmic force materialized before them, a swirling vortex of dark energy and malevolent intent. It was a formidable and intimidating sight, its power palpable and overwhelming. Cosmic force, you dare challenge me? I am a force beyond comprehension. Your efforts are futile. Naruto, we will not let you disrupt the balance of our world. We have the strength and determination to stop you. The battle began with a clash of cosmic power and the celestial energy of the crystal. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura fought with everything they had, using their combined abilities to counter the cosmic force's attacks. Sasuke, we need to focus our attacks on its core. That's where its power is most concentrated. Sakura, I'll support you with medical ninjutsu and ensure we stay strong throughout the battle. As the battle raged on, the team's efforts began to weaken the cosmic force's defenses. The celestial crystal's power was amplified by their chakra, creating a protective barrier around them and pushing back the dark energy. Naruto, we're making progress. Keep pushing. We need to weaken it enough to deliver the final blow. The cosmic force, though powerful, was not invincible. The combined might of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, along with the celestial crystal's energy, began to turn the tide of the battle. The force's attacks grew less frequent, and its form started to destabilize. Cosmic force, no. This cannot be. I will not be defeated. With a final, decisive effort, Naruto channeled the full power of the celestial crystal and directed it at the cosmic force. The crystal's light intensified, creating a blinding beam of energy that struck the force's core. Naruto, this is the end. The cosmic force roared in defiance as the beam of energy engulfed it. The dark entity struggled against the overwhelming power, but its resistance was futile. The cosmic force was slowly disintegrated by the intense light, its presence fading into nothingness. As the last remnants of the cosmic force vanished, the skies cleared, and the land was bathed in a renewed light. The villagers cheered, and a sense of relief and triumph washed over them. Sakura, we did it. The cosmic force has been defeated. Sasuke, our world is safe once more. We've accomplished what we set out to do. Naruto, we've faced incredible challenges and emerged victorious. This is a new beginning for all of us. In the aftermath of the battle, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were hailed as heroes. The village celebrated their victory and the return to peace. The celestial crystal was carefully preserved as a symbol of their triumph and a reminder of the strength they had shown. As they looked toward the future, Naruto and Sasuke shared a quiet moment together, reflecting on their journey and the bond they had forged. Naruto, we've been through so much, and our bond has grown stronger. I'm grateful for your support and strength. Sasuke, I feel the same. We've faced every challenge together and come out stronger. I'm proud of what we've achieved. The village thrived in the aftermath of the battle, and the bonds of friendship and unity were stronger than ever. Naruto and Sasuke continued to build their lives together, their love and partnership growing deeper with each passing day. The story of their journey became a legend, a testament to their courage, determination, and the power of unity. As they looked to the future, they knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, with unwavering strength and love.